opinions, different perspectives, various issues, problems, and their solutions on various fields, including art and culture, healthcare, environment, education, and many more. Each webinar is an interactive session with a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. If you miss any part of the session or would like to go through the previous sessions, kindly visit our website, vishwa.org, or Vishwatalks YouTube channel for a full library of past Vishwatalks on various interesting topics. Have you ever imagined a forest falling completely silent? A forest where the roar of a tiger, once the heartbeat of the wilderness, had disappeared. That was the reality of Panna Tiger Reserve in 2009. Every single tiger had vanished. Many believed it was the end of Panna's story. Some thought the loss was irreversible. But what if we told you that this wasn't the end? It was the beginning of one of the greatest wildlife conservation success stories in the recent times. Behind the extraordinary transformation stood a dedicated team led by a man who believed that nature can heal when people choose to protect it. Our speaker today, Mr. R. Srinivasamurthy, is a distinguished Indian Forest Service officer who has devoted over 33 years to wildlife conservation, biodiversity, and environmental protection. Throughout his career, he introduced several pioneering initiatives from developing wildlife population estimation methods and creating the tiger tracing kit to reviving the endangered gharial population and launching large-scale nature awareness programs. However, his most remarkable achievement came at Panna Tiger Reserve as the leader of the tiger reintroduction and conservation effort. He helped transform a reserve with zero tigers in 2009 into one that had 32 tigers by 2015. Today, the reserve is home to over 90 tigers, and its remarkable revival has become an international model. In fact, Panna model of tiger reintroduction has inspired conservation efforts in countries such as Cambodia, where Mr. Murthy shared his experience. What makes this success truly unique was his philosophy of tiger conservation with people support, proving that lasting conservation is only possible when local communities become partners in protecting nature. Beyond tiger conservation, Mr. Murthy has made lasting contributions to biodiversity conservation, virtual monitoring, wetland conservation, teacher training in nature education, and wildlife policy. He has also co-authored the children's book Our Tigers Return, inspiring the next generation to care for India's wildlife. His exceptional work has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including WWF India Bagh Mitra Award. Today, we have the privilege of hearing directly from the person who helped turn what many thought was an impossible dream into reality. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Mr. R. Srinivasmurthy on Vishwa Talks to share his insights on from zero tigers to a global conservation miracle. A very good morning, sir. Pleased to see you again.
Good morning, Trishant. Thank you very much for this opportunity. First, outset, I would like to thank Vishwa Talks for inviting me for this particular talk. Thank you very much. You for your entire team. And then
It's an honor to have you,
I would like to make a good morning to all the participants of this particular webinar. I am speaking to you from Luxembourg, Europe, because of the dates I was here, but it is no issue for me. Before taking you to through the story, I would like to place certain issues that every audience has to keep in mind before trying to absorb and trying to formulate certain questions of it. Place yourself in 2009. It's not a story happened yesterday, and it's a story happened 17 years ahead of the time when the technological innovations and tools were not in vogue. To some extent, they were being used in academic scenario, but not as a managerial tool by the department. That's one thing. And second thing, it's not an exactly a well-planned project, because Sariska happened and then immediately Panna happened. So department was in a panic mode, and to great extent, I can say it's an ad hoc project. But the beauty of this project is nothing was planned, but everything well in a planned way once it started. So it goes with saying, if your intentions are pure and sincere, the world shall ensure your success. Just I can quote in a very simple way. There are so many issues that were need to be addressed and very high odds against the department. And then only path what we followed to be open to everyone and to be communicative within the park and outside the park with the people. Basically, it's a staff inside the park and outside it's the entire landscape and people there. Why I am telling this is that the knowledge about the tiger and the technological tools that really helped to move ahead were totally novice to everybody. Entire knowledge of tiger ecology, what we see down the line after almost 2 decades, is very, very high level now. And then at the same time, at that time, it was not so. So nobody was knowing a full, what should I say, part of it. And the story will have several layers, and then that run simultaneously. And then I am supposed to do a justice of my 6 years of experience with Panna and ahead of it, after that even, in 60 minutes from now. So I will try to do justice to the extent possible within the time limits that has been given, that's available rather. So from here, I would like to share my presentation. I think presentation is available to everybody along with audio. Okay, thank
Yes.
you. And third, one more important issue, please jot down your whatever queries or then suggestions that you would like to add. I can answer them in between, but time is the limit. So I would like to complete my talk, then I will take questions. That's how we can move together. So thank you, everybody. And so first of all, as I said, thanks to Viswa Talks and every audience that is available here. I have already covered some of those issues, and then sharing a story of 17 years, 2 months old to be precise. And then I demitted that direct responsibility 11 years ago. I must have narrated this story 100 plus times within the country and outside the country. And then this story is told to Panna Nature Camps participants for last 11 years. And actually it has two parts. One part is that successful tiger reintroduction, and second one is a world's first ever successful tiger rewilding. There are two parts to the entire Panna reintroduction or tiger revival story. So now the Vishwa Talks has titled it as a global conservation miracle. Yes, certainly. And then I would like to say a few words about how it has become a global conservation miracle from zero, starting from zero in 2009. See, some of or most of you must have seen this particular document released just few days, maybe 2 weeks back. Reintroduction, populations, recovery of tigers in India. It gives a total of 12 different tiger reserves where the reintroduction took place from 2008 to 2024. And then Panna Tiger Reserve stands at serial number 2, where in 2009 we had 0 tigers, and then reintroduction, they say it's 3 tigers, 1 male, 2 female, and the total number of tigers today is 88. But there is some, what should I say, factual thing that need to be corrected. We reintroduced total 7 tigers, of which 2 males, then 5 females. Of the 5 females, 2 were rewilded tigers that were hand reared for Atkana, and then rest of the 3 were part of the actual reintroduction. And as per the Tiger Reserve's estimates, Tiger Reserve does have more than 100 tigers as of now. And then I would like to point out one more issue here. Ki Panna Tiger Reserve contributed tigers to Sanjay Tiger Reserve. That's number 3. And then to Madhav Tiger Reserve, number 10. And then Virangana Durgavati, that's number 6. So in Virangana Durgavati, the tiger went on its own to that particular lands from within the lands part of the within the landscape. Otherwise, rest of the issues are there. If you see the total outcome, the Panna stands way ahead of everybody around. So this is what I have earlier shared with you. Just to give certain figures how it happened. Initially, 2 female tigresses were brought to Panna to offset the, skewed male sex ratio, because earlier department felt there were only males, so we need to bring females so that the things can get a course correction. But by the time these females were brought, the existing males, last male also left the tiger reserve. So I joined in the month of May 2009, and then we brought a male tiger which wandered out of the tiger reserve in November, December 2009. And this male was outside the park area for more than a month. Then we brought him back, and this particular male and T1 female, they met, and then they had a successful breeding, and the first litter happened in 16 January. So what is the actual gestation time? It is the December end and mid of the, sorry, it's not January, April. It's wrongly typed here. So roughly say little more than say 4 months time. That is exactly what is required for a tiger to breed and produce a litter. So this miracle I don't think it can happen, but as of now, it's a very difficult thing to happen. And the second tigress, that was T2, also delivered in the month of October 10. So by the tigers disappeared in 2009, and 100% breeding tigers of reintroduced founder tigers happened by end of 2010 itself. Then we did a rewilding of 2 tigresses. Then all the 100% successful reintroductions, 100% breeding success, and no casualties of any founder tigers. This is a big issue. Everybody has to make a mark about it. And then second thing, today we have a viable source population at Panna. I also, as a manager, never imagined that Panna can have a 20+ breeding tigers, because having 20+ breeding tigers will make it a viable source population. But now it is there that way. It's a great, again, big achievement for the successors that followed me. And then the tiger state title was brought back to Madhya Pradesh, and India has doubled its tigers. Panna's contribution is no less in that particular. And then it's an inspiration of tiger interaction in India and abroad. These are certain the issues. A photograph of me and rest of the team at Cambodia in 2017. And then just to give an idea about in gist, you see where the Panna stands with respect to annual recruitment rate. 9 tigers a year, average basis. It started from 2010 and then rather 2012, and then moved ahead the same way, because we have ensured the mortality, we tried to restrict the mortality of the cubs to great extent. That time we had a criticism also being thrown our face, telling that you are intervening too highly. No, had we intervened too highly with the tiger ecology and biology, the breeding success could never happen. People outwardly say so because they are seeing the monitoring teams around. Monitoring teams are almost 1 to 2 kilometers away from the tigers. But that's how the things were managed, because close disturbances will never allow the tigers to breed successfully, because they will be under a lot of stress. So now, as I said, there are several layers that are happening around. First thing, when we started, exactly nobody knows what was the reasons of debacle. Because as per the UN guidelines of reintroductions or otherwise also, one should know the reasons. before proceeding ahead to rectify them. And then nobody was knowing anything about it. Then the morality of the staff was at the lowest step. Everybody was crying at you. Everybody was showing their anger at you. Public at large, political systems at large, everybody. Matlab, even if my house is looted, I will be for my fault, without knowing me or knowingly, then I will be at a lot of shame and depression, isn't it? Then building a team of Panna, that's very important from that level. And knowing about the science and technology of monitoring tigers, radio telemetry, chemical immobilization, and handling the tiger. This is another important issue. Knowing biological, behavioral, and ecological aspects. You see, you can put the tigers together. After Panna, many of the tigers have started just bringing the tigers and just introducing them into the new area. Shall it result? Does it result into successful reintroductions? No, because lot of harmony has to happen between the individual tigers. You are bringing tigers from different sides. Even within the home, you can see how individual human beings behave with each other. So similarly, there may be an attraction between a male and female, but at the same time, each one has to adjust to the new area first, that is the reintroduction, and have to develop a harmony among themselves. That's another important area. I will tell some of those important insights at a later stage. And then in-house capacity building, because you see, handling a tiger for reintroductions has to happen 24/7, 365 days. If a tiger tries a hunt and gets injured in the process, I have to address that issue. Then only that particular founder tiger will be able to move around and then do its normal ecological duty. And similarly, while developing a way, new tigers are meeting each other, there will be a lot of disharmony. Fights will happen, not only between males, but males and females also. In such a situation also, you have to be very careful. So what I mean to say, see, reintroductions are not just bringing tigers from one place to other place and try to experiment with them. No, it's not. It's not so. You have to have a lot of insights and lot of careful attendance for the tigers, because there comes the difference between academic monitoring of tigers telemetrically and then managerial monitoring in a reintroduction scenario. Then for that, if I am going to dependent on some outside organization for chemical immobilization and radio telemetry, then my tiger introduction is gone. I can quote very many examples, but it's not good for me to take the names where because of this only academic monitoring reintroductions has failed in India itself. So what needed is that a managerial radio telemetry based monitoring is important. Then for that, you need to have in-house capacity. Then security was very big issue. Unless you protect your tigers, you cannot really dream of anything of successful reintroductions. And this was the big point when lions were refused to Madhya Pradesh to be reintroduced at Kunu by the Gujarat government in the Supreme Court, telling that they could not save the tigers. How we can really believe them that will save these lions also? See, we can have very many justifications, but this was one thing which pinched me as a in charge of that particular reintroduction and the entire state also. Then talking to the people, it's very important because nobody knows anything about the full of it. And then Panna followed a very open, what should I say, way to interact within the tigerism and outside also. That's how we plan to take the people from the day one. And remember, it's a feudalistic society. I will not be able to give more details about what a feudalistic society. वहां पे यदि मैं हिंदी में बोलूं, आका जो बोलते हैं वही होता है. आका का मतलब है जो टॉप मोस्ट पर्सन. Then what is required? It's a proper collaboration with the headquarter and NTC and scientific community. Basic thing that helped me was a mission leader was appointed. Please add the leader there. Leader was missing. I have told this story more than 100 times, as I said, but every time I will give you a different perspective to the same story. A mission leader, Mr. Dharmen Shukla, was real big kingpin for ensuring every coordination happens at all other levels, leaving the field business to us in a very independent way. Then his mantra was, you have to have a communication. Be just ensuring one goal, achieving one goal by 700 plus people, and rest of the landscape with respect to security issues. That's quite a big thing. So now I am going to go into 4 different stages: introduction to the area, then what should I say, how we lost the tigers, then it is about the tiger interaction, and then finally rewilding, and finally we will try to sum up. So already I have lost some 20 minutes, and these 2 tigers were the original tigers of Panna before 2009. You see the massive size of those tigers. Male tigers reach around 240 kilos there. So just to give an idea, what is a good forest, ecologically functional forest, in India at least, for me, where you have a dynamic tiger populations as a top predator, that is the healthy forest for me. Because in India, every other forest do have a tiger as a top predator. So we have to realize it. If you have lost tigers in your area, it means it's becoming gradually ecologically dysfunctional. So in Panna, we lost that ecological one function, where from the rest of the slide down must have taken place. But luckily, we could avoid it. We could restore it. That's the big issue. This is a satellite map of Panna National Park, yellow cover. And then the Cane Rivers runs from south to northeast. It runs almost 55 kilometers inside the Tiger Reserve area. And it does have a tabletop topography. So generally people say tabletop topography in Kruger. Other than that, people from Kruger had come and said that they are seeing a Kruger in Panna. Here where I'm standing, the foreground is table 1, and the another horizon where you see a slope and then tabletop is plateau 1. So these plateaus and the slopes and then play a big role in making Panna Tiger Reserve a composite ecosystem. What is a composite ecosystem? I will let you know at the next slide, because it's a dry deciduous forest. For many people, if somebody sees a Kanha or some say rainforest, especially in Western Ghats and Panna, they will say, this is kuch bhi nahi hai. It's not even a shade of any forest area. No. In the dry deciduous climatic climax, this is the best forest that is available because of the slopes, and slopes are heavens for the wild fauna around. And then another important feature here, the most of the streams that run from eastern side to western side meeting the Cane River. You see, from this side, the streams will go and join the Cane River. So in such a situation, when there is a change of a plateau, the change is abrupt 90 degrees. Some falls are say, around say 100 meters, some are 200 meters, but depending upon these streams and then that particular habitat of a river gorge where one side is closed is known as Seha locally. So these Sehas are the important, what should I say, natal areas for the tigers here. Not only tigers, panthers, everybody live together there. And then why we lost Panna? See, this 34 1 plus tigers, if you please dig into the history of Panna, of how it lost, Dr. Raghu Chundawat had this particular compendium, which was privately circulated, or you can see, go through his book also, because the department claimed they had 35 tigers. But at the end of the day, when the tigers were lost, only we had evidence of losing 2 tigers, that's all. Rest of the 33 tigers, how they were lost, it will be never known to the world. Meanwhile, in 2005, when the Sariska happened, then the central government stepped into and then brought out this quite a big monumental document, which said how to really, we have to build joining the dots of losing tigers. That's very important issue. And then meanwhile, when based on this document, when they started the camera trap method, landscape level tiger estimation for the first time in India in 2006, abandoning the Pugmark method, the Panna happened. So 2006 and 2010 and 2009, we lost the tigers. And this is the last tiger camera that was trapped, male tiger, in January 2009. So, matlab, the debacle started somewhere in 2005 and came to public light in 2009. But the department understood the situation by January 2009. And initial reaction was denial. Even in Supreme Court, the department has filed the affidavit with 2006 estimates of WIA and NTCA telling that all is well in Panna. Exactly, it was not well. And second thing, when the issue came into the limelight, there are very many details, but I'm skipping them. NTCA constituted a SIT. But the big mistake that NTCA did with that SIT was, in spite of the State Department, Forest Department asking for a representative in the committee, that position was denied to them. So the state refused the SIT's report. So they constituted their own committee, expert committee, and then NTCA was also a member of that particular committee. So there were two committees that looked into debacle of the committee at the official end. Then, so still, as a manager, as an in charge to revive the tiger population, I wanted to know the nitty-gritty of the tiger debacle, so I did my own investigation. So far as a manager, I need not get anybody's permission because I am there to revive the tigers. So I done that, and then that report was really opposed by many people, including the government, and many people doesn't know what is there inside the report, but I know what was there. How to address the situation? The main issue was poaching and management failure at the scientific level. And second thing, the feudalistic setup of the landscape never allowed the truth to come out. So that's a very important issue that one has to remember. I am speaking about the Bundelkhand region. Then there was a dacoit issue that was another, what should I say, final nail into the coffin of Panna, when dacoits stationed inside the Panna Tiger Reserve for almost a year when staff never entered inside the park. That was another important issue. You don't know anything happened there. I have read all the reports of this particular dacoit from the police records, but there was no record that dacoits has really done some, what should I say, poaching inside the tiger reserve, but they occupied all the natal areas. That's an important issue. Another important issue was key Pardis. Some NGOs claim key Pardis entered the park and done the commercial poaching. But again, because the staff was not there inside, and what happened at that particular period still is a big mystery. So now I am entering to the next phase. Sorry, because I can say hours together about how the debacle happened, but time is a limitation. Now, how it regained. I think most of you must have seen this iconic picture. This is a T1 with her first litter of 4 cubs in Dundua Siha. Earlier I said refer to one Siha. That Siha is Dundua Siha. There are around, say, 18 Sihas inside the Panna Tiger Reserve. Sihas are the real heavens and natal areas for the tigers there. And this is the first litter. So we had only one choice when we started the tiger introduction, do or die. So we choose to do rather than die. Because from day one, we know if we are going to fail at Panna, rest of the tiger conservation of the issue. By that time, around that time, in the parliament, it was announced that 16 tiger reserves on the same situation. Of course, only the Sariska and then Panna came into limelight. So the government was knowing about it. So I said, in the hardest conditions, if we are going to make a failure, then rest of the tiger conservation reintroductions will get a big full stop around for at least for a while. And second thing, baggage value. It's a big thing for me. Anywhere I used to stand and say, even in the ministerial review, people used to laugh at my face, telling ki, "Acha, you are from Panna." So people used to make a lot of, what should I say, dirty comments on face, but at the same time, the same situation was faced by everybody. But one thing I identified was that, yes, as an individual, how come Murthy is responsible for Panna debacle? No. I am not responsible. I have got out of that general guilty. Otherwise, people generally take for granted, है भाई मैं फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट से हूँ, ये मैं भी इस पर्टिकुलर जो गलत काम हुआ उसका मैं भागी हूँ. No, I was never भागी for that. Then problem identification, as I said, poaching, and then managerial issues. Then for me, truth was tiger. I refused to listen many superiors even when they wanted to compromise me at the tiger security and tiger issue. So for me, truth, I told this thing to everybody inside the park. For us, the tiger is our God. If we are going to stick to our truth and God, then Panna will revive. If we are going to forget as we have done in the past, then things will not happen. That's very important. Then for that, you need to have a very strong determination. Then team building from that shame situation. Then deciding cardinals of the work. We have to decide what are those cardinals. I will come to that issue at a later stage. Then we need to have a public consultation and participation because there was no public empathy after losing the tigers in Panna. To great extent, every protected area will have the same, what should I say, negative feeling from the immediate vicinity of the people because there are many restrictions with a protected area. The same situation was there. And then I have already discussed about this thing. Then planning, goal setting. What is our goal? We have to revive the tigers. What is the revival of tigers? Successful reintroductions, breeding success, and building up the numbers to the maximum possible that the optimum potential of that particular tiger is. We are very clear about it. Then coordination is a big issue because what I am telling as a field in charge has to be done by the chowkidar and forest guard down at the ground level. If there is a communication gap, then you miss it. Then execution is important issue. Telling is something, executing is something. Where the coordination and then being sync with everybody is very important. And we have decided various milestones, how to proceed step by step, step by step. There is no way to escape from those. Then motivation of everybody. Then checks and balances. If somebody is not doing it, then how to course correct it. Our staff used to be really under a lot of, what should I say, to some extent, I can say fear psychosis because they don't know when who is going to land at them when they're committing some mistake. So that was a surprise element every staff had with them. They were very clear कि भाई कोई भी कहीं से भी टपक सकता है, मैं हम कोई गलती कर रहे हैं तो या सही कर रहे हैं तो तारीफ करने के लिए, नॉट ओनली गलती का सही डांटना, अच्छा करने से तारीफ भी मिलता था साथ में. मॉनिटरिंग, एनालिसिस एंड एवेल्युएशन. एंड व्हाट आर दोस 3 different processes that took place around the same situation? Truth is tiger. Tiger has to be at the topmost level, and security is for truth. And then locals has to support the truth. And then we have to operate as a team and collaboration for the sake of the truth. And we have to learn the new HR and skill upgradations with respect to tiger monitoring and radio telemetry and etc. etc. That's a very important issue. I realized this issue from day one when in the next slides I'm going to cover that. Please somebody remind me if just 10 minutes ahead of the time limit. So this is our truth. And this poster was developed when we have done our 4th tiger birthday. And Panna is the only tiger reserve in the world where wild tigers' birthdays are celebrated. How it come possible? Because we know when the tigers have delivered their babies. Exactly the date we can know. We can pinpoint. And records are there. So that's how the things were so closely monitored without disturbing the tigers. That's the basic issue. And then this, my own investigation, what it has brought out. Panna's rise and fall happened just in a decade. It can again take the same route in a decade's time if somebody is not cautious enough. That's a very important issue. Feudalistic society, thug culture. एक कन्फेशंस ऑफ ए थग करके एक अंग्रेजी में एक नावल है, उसको पढ़िएगा. इट वाज मेड इन हॉलीवुड पिक्चर आल्सो. जस्ट यू विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कल्चर. या बाहुबली में जो पिंडारी लोग हैं ना, वही लोग हैं थग्स. देन इट्स अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रिडन लैंडस्केप. लोकल्स टेक प्राइड इन किलिंग द एनिमल्स. वो तो 70 साल पहले तक तो स्टेट था वो इंडियन, जो एक पन्ना स्टेट था जहाँ पे शिकारगाह होता था. people were licensed to kill even up to 1991. So that culture even still there. People take pride in killing them. And then part does had very little local support. When the tigers were lost, the one statement which really I picked up and touched me and pinched me was Pinda Chuta. कि कितनी लोग हिंदी समझते नहीं समझते मुझे नहीं मालूम। पिंड छूटा मतलब है कि अब गया तो ठीक है, छोड़ दो, हमें इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं। दैट वाज द रिएक्शन फ्रॉम द लोकल्स। एंड देन दे डिडंट हैड एनी कैपेसिटी टू अटेंड द टाइगर इंटरेक्शंस। इकोसिस्टम वाज इंटैक्ट। रिसेंटली पेपर हैज कम कि प्रे बेस बहुत अच्छा था इसलिए टाइगर रिवाइव हो गया। नो, बहुत अच्छा नहीं था। यस, प्रे बेस वाज देयर, बट उसको बिल्डअप करने के लिए जो प्रोटेक्शन था, फॉर बाय नॉट हैविंग टाइगर्स देयर and then providing another good amount of a decadal protection for the tiger reserve, the prey base picked up, because I have records to show that. And then second thing, relocation and tiger extinction took place simultaneously. 11 villages were relocated from Panna between 2005 and 2009. When villages were getting relocated, tigers must have revived. Opposite thing happened. So that's a very ironical for me. I can never accept such a situation. Not very sure how strong that prey base was, and then growing predator population in long term. That's present day situation in India, is that one has to have the dynamics with phase 4, what should I say, tiger count that as NTC has prescribed. Every tiger reserve should know it. Then I have instituted a small study by a NGO by name Shodh. And then I must thank my chief wildlife wardens and other people who permitted me to do such interventions using an NGO. What that showed the institution has given us, staff's loyalty has to be the reserve. That was a very big issue. Earlier, that was not there. That's how we lost the tigers. Local support must for the reserve. That's very essential. And third, local must own the tiger reserve as well as the tiger. Without their support, we cannot create, say, iron structures to prevent poaching there. But it has to be a collaborative process for the entire landscape as well as the staff there. If something happens, the staff must have guts to say such a thing has happened. That's very essential. I told to every staff of my 700 plus team, kuch hota hai to please let me know. You don't take the pressure onto you. I will safeguard you as well as I will address that issue. Never a pinch of pressure will come onto you for what you have informed me. That was the big strength for the staff there. Then security, as I said, it's a very important issue. I'm going to cover this issue another 4-5 slides. Wasn't easy. Even today, it's a main concern for every tiger reserve. Recently, a few weeks back, a big racket was busted in Jagdalpur, and that racket is again Pardi's gang, जिसमें police भी है, staff भी है. Same thing is again repeating. So India has to be very, very alert about this issue. In a 25 periods of time, not a single carnivore poaching case was resulted into conviction. So कहाँ पे मतलब deterrence of law तो होगा नहीं उस जगह पे. I'm sorry, I'm using some amount of Hindi जहाँ पे मेरे को alternative मतलब English नहीं मिल रहा वहाँ पे. So at the end of me, please ask me, I will tell it. So power of deterrence was not there. And second thing, कि 1995-2000 prime commercial poaching at international level tigers took place. Even now, it looks like it's happening now. Pardis is one of the important, what should I say, communities that are into the poaching. And they are part of Panna township, very nearby Katni, another say 90 kilometers away. We have a fire and we have a fuel together at the one place. So how Panna turnaround took place? We just provided whatever the security required for the tigers and the ecosystem. They respond in a beautiful way. Only they should get a, what should I say, mindset telling that they're being taken care. It's like a child growing with an healthy family and parents. You can just relate to that, but don't relate everything to human psychology to tigers. I would like to give you a what should I say, warning there. Nowadays, in social media, people think that tiger is their friend and their mama, their some Sita Gita. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So what is the cardinal that we have decided for security? Zero poaching. Generally, what happens in a tiger reserve or any other protected area, some herbivore gets killed because of placing some electrical wires for crop protection or some placing some nooses for some other herbivore bush meat, and tigers or panthers get trapped and people say, अरे यार वो तो सुअर के लिए लगाया था, टाइगर मर गया. कोई बात नहीं है. No. if this is the view that we are going to take, no, please don't forget about your tiger protection and tiger reserves. Well, nowadays you say ki very boldly, matlab, lifting your colors, we are the leaders in tiger conservation in the entire world. वो बहुत दिन नहीं रहेगा. So you have to be very strict with respect to poaching issues. And poaching and then security is 24/7, 365 hai. If you are alert during the nights, your protected areas are protected. If the staff starts sleeping during the nights, then thieves will have the day. That's a very important issue. As a forest department, one must remember. It's all innovative practices. Even today, it was nowhere there in the government setup. I have created an intelligence and legal cell and appointed a security officer as well as a legal advisor. This particular woman sitting on the left side or right side is Manjula Srivastav from Katni, who is an advocate, and then requested her, please matlab, accept my offer without any pay. Because being in the part of the government, if you ask any fees from me, I have to get the government permission, which is not possible for me. And she voluntarily accepted to say that, sir, yes, I am there. I will be there with you and I won't take any remuneration for it. So I have immediately appointed as a legal advisor. And then just to bring back the deterrence of the issue, then we had caught one case outside the tiger reserve, wherein within the 11 months, all the 13 people of a panther poaching were convicted. And in a one particular Chinkara poaching case, people waited for 4 months to get a bail from High Court. This is the real deterrence of the law. If people don't have the fear of the law, then they will do whatever they were doing earlier also. And then for that, you have to train your staff, because staff turnover is continuous. And the new people will be coming, old people will be getting out. But knowing the nitty-gritty of the law, how to execute the law in favor of the tiger reserve and tigers and then wildlife protection in general, people should know. Because the basic documents that goes into security and protection is the POR, preliminary offense report, and that is written only by the forest guard. If forest guard doesn't know how to write it, then it's the case is thrown in the court of law, because there will be some corrections. Corrections are certainly done for some manipulation. That is the general presumption in the natural justice system. So from the first paper of documentation to investigation and linking forward and backward linkages and taking the case to the logical conclusion where the real accused get convicted. That's the big issue, a big task. But generally what is done, Trishant, is कि people doesn't enter into this security arena because ये तो कौन किससे बुरा लेगा, ये जनरल प्रिंसिपल ऑफ माइंडसेट है. तो पूरा देश उसी बुरा लेने के चक्कर में सब मतलब अच्छे चीज हम खो जाते हैं. तो ये वाला जो कॉन्सेप्ट है माइंडसेट का, इससे बाहर लाना पड़ेगा लोगों को. एंड देन आफ्टर मतलब मेकिंग द पीपल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द सिचुएशन, I never, what should I say, spared even my uniformed staff for their omissions and commissions. We have sent 4 uniformed staff to the jail behind the bars, because security breach, once it happens, it will never stop. That's a very important issue. We have prevented these parties entering the tiger reserve 38 times in over a 6 periods time. We never allowed them. See, once the police is alert, department is alert in the tiger reserve, then the thieves will think 10 times to put their efforts to that area. भाई चोरी वहीं की जाती है ना जहां पे आसानी से हो जाए, जाने के बाद पकड़े जाने से क्या फायदा है. This is a very basic important issue. At the same time, not only staff were punished, there were incentives to the people. I can proudly say my staff was rewarded, starting from my deputy director's signature to central minister's signature, appreciation letters and awards at all levels. From state level to district level to national level, they were awarded and rewarded. And then we have planned to take the locals along from day one. You see the date. You can read the date here, 5/11/2009. This date will have a very quite significance for connecting the links of this particular rest of the story. We have not entered into the tiger reintroduction story as of yet. We are only making the preparatory work for till now, but we had a big conclave of all the local, what should I say, influential people, and told them, sir, you have to save the tiger for second time, because already we have lost the Bundelkhand pride. If we are going to lose the tiger for the second time, then there won't be much scope for us to revive it for the second time. And everybody has really accepted for it. And from then, all the feudalistic and then influential people's, what should I say, influence started pouring in a positive way. And this process continued. That was in 2009, this is 2013, and this is 2015. And again, 2015, Tiger Birth Race, as I said. And this is 2019. Further successors also continue this process. And then our teachers, where we have, as an outreach program, Panna Nature Camps, we started, our teachers got a Green Teacher Award from Sanctuary Asia at the national level. Ambika Khare and then Devdutt, these people. And then we had another outreach program, without saying so, vulture estimation at the pan-India level. I'm not going to deal into the details of it. Then continuous coming of people from outside, both from Forest Guard to IFS officers for training into Panna from 2011 onwards, and visiting of various foreign dignitaries and teams to Panna to learn the tiger interaction. It was another part of motivation and incentive for the staff. And then from here, the actual story starts. How did we started these issues? From, what should I say, September 2009, we made a document of tiger introduction for Panna. And then what was our cardinals? As I said, security and management is our concern. Creation is nature's work. Every reintroduction program, people should remember it. There's a limit for the man to act upon, and rest of the work has to be done by the animals and nature. So if tigers are not going to breed, you try to find out, is there any managerial fault at your end? If there is no fault, then you have to look different solutions. Try to change the tigers rather than, because there is infertility within the tigers and other reintroduced animals also. At the same time, there should not be any stress onto them. And don't disturb when nature is at work. When male-female partners are going to join, don't go to make a videography there. That took place in Sariska. Other problems are there in Sariska, but we never allowed anybody to, because we have learned a lesson from Sariska there. Then anticipation and advanced planning. If your monitoring schedule is very clear and you know what is happening there, then you can really anticipate and you can make the advanced plannings that way. Patience and perseverance. क्योंकि ये biological चीजों से हम deal कर रहे हैं, we need to have patience till the results come out. Of course, communication, I have already stressed this very many times. These are the various stakeholders that we needed to address. Then what are the basic Panna team? It's tigers and people. We as a team, and tigers are the actual partners. Important issue. And how so fast the things happen. Story one, that is, I am telling you, interaction and rewilding. We have entered the actual story as of now. T1 and T2, as I said, was brought in the March. They were released, but by that time there were no male tigers. So it was a very, a big desolation around. But we brought this male tiger in November 2006. But one unlucky or lucky thing happened. He could not be put a radio collar there at Pench. He came from Pench. So you can see this tiger without any radio collar. So we need to down him again for second time. And then we put the radio collar. But this man, instead of living inside the tiger reserve, he moved out of the tiger reserve area for more than a month. So हम बोलते थे हमारा स्टाफ से, भाई अपने पास अनमोल 3 रतन है, T1, T2, T3. हम लोगों ने जो टाइगर का जो नॉमेनक्लेचर है फाउंडर टाइगर्स का, उनकी सीक्वेंस में ही दे दिया. T1 बांधवगढ़ से, T2 कान्हा से, T3 मेल पेंच से. सो 3 अनमोल रत्न में एक भी नहीं बचेगा आपके कारणों से, गलतियों से, तो then forget about reintroduction. Because at every tiger that we procured for Panna reintroduction, there was a lot of local resistance. In Kanha, people were ready to go and sat in the High Court to get an injection to stop the tiger translocation. Under such a lot of stress, tigers were brought to Panna, And otherwise then from other side मतलब गुजरात गवर्नमेंट का भी प्रेशर था सिर पे, ये लोग तो बचा नहीं पाए, हमको दिखाना था, हमको बचा सकते हैं, दिखाना है हमें, एक जिद्द था अंदर से, तो जिद्दीपन था। तो हमने कहा कि इसको किसी भी हालत में बचाएंगे। तो हमारा स्टाफ ने पूछा कि सर अब टाइगर बाहर चला गया, हम कहाँ जाना है, जहां सिग्नल है वहां जाना है। So I and my deputy and then other 70 plus people moved along with the tiger whose signals were not known to us. That was another issue. Very issues are technical issues are there, but there is no time for me to discuss all those things. But basic issue in the entire landscape, the security was very thin. There was gunshots around, poisoning happening, electrocution happened, but we bought this tiger on 6th and it moved out of the tiger reserve on 25th November, and we had the meeting of locals on 5th November. The message that we tried to convey on 5th November spread the entire landscape when the tiger moved out. That's where we could really to great extent secure this animal. This is how we moved along with the tiger, matlab in the open jungle. And this is how we used to search for the tiger, for which you don't know. हम इसको कहते हैं कि समुद्र में सुई को ढूंढना। कभी आप टाइगर को ढूंढ के देखिए when signals are not functional. And then we used to get briefing and debriefing. Every day people used to move in the morning. We used to guide them with whatever knowledge we had and then try to get them what they have done so that motivations are there along. This is our kitchen. And this is how we used to fuel our staff with whatever available food, because staff was there almost for 48 to 72 hours trying to monitor the tigers and secure the tigers. If they don't give them food inside the forest, where from we can cook? If there is some facility we can cook, or we procure whatever is available. Generally पूरे नॉर्थ इंडिया में समोसा चलता है, समोसा मिर्च यही मतलब खिलाते रहे लोगों को. And day in and day out, it's 24/7. When this tiger moved out, when we caught his signal for the first time, then we tried to not to lose the signal. That's where this tiger has taught us 24/7 monitoring business. And second thing, he started making a team around to take care of himself. Then finally he was captured on 25th in Damoh district. Then these many skills that we have to learn because of this one tiger who speeded up everything just in less than 30 minutes, 30 days time. Otherwise हमको हम अपना अपना छोड़ दिए होते, शायद हम इतनी जल्दी ये सब नहीं सीख पाते. मजबूरी है, डू और डाई सिचुएशन है. And then till then academic जो issue था, we made it a managerial issue. That is the big difference with the rest of the tiger reserves and Panna. In academic monitoring, people take only three locations a week, whereas we are monitoring them 24/7 basis. And then this was done from 1 tiger to 13 tigers at different stages of tiger introduction between 2019, and it was phased out gradually after 2017. Now there is no such radio telemetry monitoring. And this is how the tiger moved during those days. He moved 250 kilometers in one direction, 442 kilometers, all GPS-based scientific figures. So, and then how to communicate with the people? Then we tried to put the posters around. Then we made मुनादी करवाते थे गाँव में, and cattle compensation immediately करवाते थे वहाँ पे. ये सब हमारा division नहीं था, but we tried to use to manage this with the help of the headquarter. And then many times people doesn't know why the electricity was not around and they were not knowing tiger is also around there. Then, and this is the first time where a wild tiger's homing instinct was seen around. This tiger has moved almost, you can see, this is Panna, this is Pench, almost moved halfway through. Yahan se another 25 kilometers down the south, he could have crossed Narmada and then easily entered into Narsinghpur, Jabalpur, Sivni, and then Pench. And then meanwhile, we were trying how to retain this tiger for the second time. If he again wants us to move out, this is when I got a clue from Shekhar Kolipaka, who is a, what should I say, you can say, practitioner at the landscape level. He said, ki, sir, basically, Billy ki family ka communicate with the fecal matter and then urine. So we got the female tiger's urine collected from the one vihar, and then which was transported at the time of release of this male tiger, and then refused to release him in the soft enclosure because the reasons are different. I have no time to explain those things. You can see the dark patch here. we spread in the release area. At the same time, I throwed some of the female urines, eight matlab tigers urine together inside the, what should I say, this male cage, and then he was released. And he's Mr. Panna. We call him Mr. Panna because he is the real source of inspiration for all these things I've explained till now. And he's the real man who brought the Panna a big breeding success around. And listen to me, we released him on 26th morning, and then he met the female tiger, existing female tiger T1 on 29th, another say 15 kilometers toward the eastern direction. They were there together for 4 days, and then this resulted in successful first breeding success. So then how a tiger is tranquilized, just I'm going to scroll through some of those pictures. You have to be very careful about tiger, what should I say, tranquilization. You dot it, then try to cover his eyes so that optical illusion shall not be there. Finish off several duties together simultaneously in less than 15 to 20 minutes. Then take a final call, revive them, radio call is put. And this is an in-house exercise where we could complete this particular exercise in 30 minutes straight away. And then, as I said, this is the first litter. So minimum possible time a tiger breeding success occurred with T1, and then, but again, between the fight between T1 and T3, that is male and female, we lost two cubs of the first litter of the T1. That's a big story again, but T2 is a different story. His radio collar was never functional. We monitored her without any radio collar almost for 2 years. Then she also delivered her cubs in mid-October. And then this is the first litter of 4 tigers. The saving grace with this T2 is that she had 2 males and 2 females. But again, losing grace was one of the females died. T1 delivered second litter, again 4 males. He abandoned one. So at the end of the breeding success in the first phase of T1 and T2, we had only 1 female left out by end of say 2012 and say 6 males around. If you include T3, then 7 males around. The same situation which was there with the Panna earlier at the managerial side, because we had only more males, only very few females. That's how we lost the tiger reserve, because turnover will be very high there. Males will be always demanding for a sex with the female tigers, which is not possible for the female because they want sex, they kill the cubs. So turnover of the cubs will be very high. So now the next level of dynamics started happening. Panna 111 started pairing with T2. I will say, just to give some indication, what is the nomenclature for P. P stands for Panna progeny. 1 stands for T1, mother. Second one stands for the first litter. Last number stands for the first baby of the first litter. So that's how P111. That's another issue. To have a ownership with the tigers, but the local level, we named them Panna. Because people were telling, आपके पास तो सब बाहर के आए हैं टाइगर्स, आपका थोड़ी, हमारा नहीं है थे. तो then we started a flyer telling कि आपके घर में बहू आए हैं, वो आपका है कि नहीं, बहू के साथ जो बच्चे हुए हैं वो आपके है कि नहीं. तो we have to do lot of social tricks also around. Then now comes the second story. So this is story about rewilding. This is T4, the bigger one, and this particular story does have a background history where this tigress, radio collar tigress by WWF, was killed by a male. And they had this tigress had 3 cubs, 2 females and 1 male. So these are the 2 females. One simultaneous miracle happening, we didn't had anything with us. So one elephant came to us. So to build up our elephant team also, we named him Ganesha. I am not going into details. On one side, we were trying to rewild a tiger. At the other side, we were trying to domesticate a semi-wild elephant. It's the only irony I would like to say here. With Patyusha, I was telling there were a lot of twists and turns. This is one among the many. Then, as I said, in 2005, then at that time, the field director there wanted to try rewilding experiment in 2005. But meanwhile, that rewilding experiment was not forgotten in between. So by the time in 2011, 2000, end of the 2010, Panna team became perfect in the eyes of the headquarter and then NTCA. They wanted to experiment this T4 and T5 with Panna rewelding experiment. I stoutly opposed it because there is an every chance of losing the shine with respect to our march. So, and my staff also refused, but finally I have obeyed the orders of the headquarter and NTCA. And I assured them I will give full dedication of my team to them. I have to convince my team, telling that this will be a crown in your, this will be another feather in your crown. And then we have really succeeded in doing first ever rewilding of tigers in Panna. So I framed this entire rewilding business where 5 tests for tigers. What are they? Tigers must not have any human imprint. That's very first thing. How it can be decided? You have to stand before the tiger and say, the tiger after 30 meters started coming towards you, then it does have an imprint, thinking that human is a friend. So our staff stood before these tigers and ensured that they have a wild instinct. Second thing, they have to adjust and develop a harmony with the existing population. That's an important issue. Must learn and hunt in natural conditions. Chunki artificial conditions in an enclosure, hunting may be easier because you are pushing the prey inside. But here in the open area, from Kana to Panna, different habitat, that's a very tough task. Then they have to successfully breed and produce the litter also. Another important issue, till then it was not known whether the raising of the cubs to adulthood is an instinct behavior, innate behavior, or an acquired behavior. So they have to raise the progeny to the adulthood. So what are the tests for us? We must meet the basic food and energy requirement for the tiger, reintroduced rewilding tiger, till matlab, they learn on their own how to make a natural kill and avoid starvation death. I will finish it in another, say, 5 minutes time. Facilitate early opposite sex meeting other than providing secure environments. So here what
Please
we
don't
did.
skip anything, sir. Please
Yes,
don't
yes.
skip anything. It's
I'm
not nice
watching
that
the
we
time.
get it.
Yes. Already
Yeah,
crossed 2
take your
minutes.
time.
I will finish it off in 5 more minutes. So again, we
Please take
use
your
we used again urine lure technique here, where the tiger gets transported, it takes out a lot of urine to take out the drugs from it. जो इंजेक्टेड ड्रग्स होते हैं उसको बाहर निकालने के लिए, तो उस फायरे को हम लोगों ने इकट्ठा किया, वहां से एनक्लोजर से इसकी फीकल मैटर इकट्ठा किया, एंड देन वी लेड दिस पर्टिकुलर मतलब हे एंड देन फीकल मैटर up to a matlab, this T4 from T1's path. We know how the T1 moves there. So what happened? The T4 and T3 met within the same night. Because the tiger was moving from one side, my staff started laying all this matlab, scented material up to the matlab, place where the T4 was staying. And now suddenly T3 a wild tiger sees a T4 a semi-wild tiger, and they know each other as a tiger only. They don't know what is the differences between them. But the basic issue was that this T4 started immediately imitating the male tiger and started making kills around. In 1 week, she made 7 kills, including 1 wild boar and 1 nilgai male. But at the same time, she was not able to rip open it in a way a natural tiger does. But at the same time, they had a mating and they had a, what should I say, first cub delivered in mid-November 2011. But meanwhile, what happened? Because of her very tough terrain, she lost almost 15 kilos weight and dropped her collar. You can see here, there is no collar. You can see here, there's a collar. This is a release photograph. Here it is when she delivered the cub. There was a big story behind it, but I am not going to deal with this. First litter of the T4, and then the Panna 112 started meeting T4. It's another, what should I say, dynamics of happening within the Panna tigers. Now Panna 11 started with P213 also by end of the 2012. So a lot of things started happening, but we lost this T4 in 17 September because of some मतलब अंदर का कुछ disease था उसको, हमें नहीं पता. T5 didn't really much added, but she also met with the breeding success with 1 cub. First litter 2 cubs से abandon कर दिया. Then finally, by end of say 2013, we had only male tigers again around, only 1 female of progeny. So we have to bring in T6 as a supplement tiger, which was part of that project. After T6 came, and the male started dispersing out of the tiger reserve. Then things started settling with respect to sex ratio. Coming to the second male, we intentionally avoided bringing a second male, because you bring a second male, already there are same males are there from the progeny. There will be turbulence of cup killing, which happened with the Panna 111. But at the same time, we wanted to introduce a second male technically to build up the heterogeneity till we had a sufficient number of cups around. So this is T7 from Bhopal. By the time I was in Bhopal, I captured him and then again reintroduced him in Panna as a second male, technically completing the entire process. This is the total report card of Panna, say reintroduction, rewilding. As of today, only T6 is alive. Rest of the tigers, founder tigers died. This is some, I tried to make some assessed figures within the brackets. Total reintroduction 7, mortality founders 38, litters produced around 50 plus, full litter abandonments 9, or it can be more even, cubs produced 20, and then finally coming, you see it is 9 per year, total grand total 160 plus. In the outside the park, more than 20 tigers are there. As of stage, this figure is of 2020. All the goals achieved, I need not repeat them. This is the original Panna team, for which I am going to dedicate this. But this Panna team gradually grown up. And then this is my team, my Deputy Director Vikram Singh Parihar, Sanjeev, Dr. Sanjeev, veterinarian, and rest of the staff. And then this is with the Forest Minister. Gradually, this team has grown up. Our Chief Minister at that time. Then this is the entire public celebrating the Panna tiger birthdays. And these are all the outcomes. And then this is how the entire landscape and the corridors was really identified by these moving tigers around, because they were collared and monitored properly. This is a very interesting case. This one particular tiger, male tiger, moved from Panna, and which was details was sent to Wildlife Institute of India. They said it's not unknown, it's an unknown tiger. And then we, with the help of the social media, identified it as the son of a 213. And then he remained there as a dominant tiger. You see, tigers does have a capability to move from area to other source population, even though there is a lot of fragmentation. Only destiny has to help them. Then what should I say? I think I have covered everything. These are the different organizations, various accolades that we received, my photo credits, my acknowledgements, and my team. I dedicate this team. And then now this success story is getting doomed by a damning. So thank you. Jai Hind. I have a small video, but I'm not going to show it. If I get a time at the end of it, all the real video of say 6 to 7 minutes, we'll show it at the end, if time permits.
You can choose to show it right now.
Thank you for your
okay.
We can move on to the Q&A.
Okay, but they just seeing the reality is one thing. Everything is documented in Panna. That's one important issue.
Yeah, yes.
Can't see the video, sir.
Can't see the video. Achha, sorry. I have not shared it. Screen sharing, why it's not happening? लगता है मैंने अच्छा स्टॉप शेयरिंग है, तो शेयरिंग तो आ रहा है. अच्छा, now let me try.
You can try.
Screen shared na?
Yes, sir.
He is Panna 111. He was shot by a forest guard at his 4th birthday. पन्ना का स्टाफ टाइगर स्कोप में बच्चों को तरह देखता है. This is about T1 capture at Bandhavgarh. You see that tranquilization is very crude. क्योंकि उस समय वो उतना मतलब था ही नहीं था टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप. NTC has developed an SOP for reintroductions based on Panna's experience. He will cover the eyes with gamcha. From here, it is the T2 capture at Kana. She was airlifted because of the problems outside. And the Pagdi man is Dr. Pavla. And we had a soft enclosure at Badagadi, place by name Badagadi. This is Panna. This is T3 without collar inside Badagadi. He was recollared. There will be a double gate to ensure the safety of the animal as well as the humans. He is getting out. This is how the monitoring. This is T4 capture, sorry, T3's capture in Tejgarh. Actually, I declared it as a rescue operation, not as a technical capture. And we darted him around 6 in the evening when it was almost becoming dark. I assured the scientist we will take him back, no issue. By the time we had put him inside the cage, it was around say 7:38. First litter. This is in Dundwasi. I'm going to scroll it because this is the first year of the first litter. T1 with her son. same person who started the video, same cup, who is almost 3.5 years old at that point of time. This is T4 and T5.
Is revival.
और जिस तरह से वन्य प्राणी वहाँ हैं,
My
पन्ना नेशनल
CM
पार्क
giving a
आज मध्य प्रदेश
statement.
ने देश के लिए
I am
गौरव
going
बन
to
चुका
stop
है।
it. Thank you.
अभी
Thank you again so much, sir. Thank you
Thank
for
you
your presence.
very
Thank you
much.
for the time
Now,
you've given to us.
I
Before
exceeded
we,
time by almost say how many minutes?
not a problem, sir. Not a
Okay,
problem at
no
all. Thank
issue.
you for covering everything, sir.
Sorry.
Before we move on to the Q&A, I'd like to take just 30 seconds of everyone's time for a quick poll. This will help us get to know you better and tailor future topics that we bring to you. A big thanks to everyone here today. Your presence and participation means a lot to us, and it makes this webinar a success. While you fill out the poll, I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Mr. R. Srinivasan Murthy, for sharing his valuable time and insights with us. I request all of the participants to quickly interact with the poll while I will quickly mention the upcoming talk so that we can go on with the question and answers uninterrupted. We have building strong immunity naturally. Learn how Ayurveda can help improve gut health and immunity by Dr. Srujana Komat Reddy, Ayurveda physician and managing partner, Sri Jayanti Wellbeing LLP. This is on 25th of July 2026, 11 a.m. onwards. You can find the details for the registration in the chat box shortly. Requesting all of the participants to quickly interact with the poll so that we can close it fast and move on to the Q&A.
So thank you everybody for your patient listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving so much important data to us and also such a well put presentation. Gathered all of your experiences and your team's experiences. Thank you so much for putting in the effort to bring in the awareness into people. I'm going to end the poll question so that we can move on to the Q&A. I'm going to unmute. First, I'm going to proceed with the ones with hands so that we can have a virtual interaction, and then I'll move on to the questions in the chat box.
Okay, please.
Requesting Shmuel to kindly unmute yourself.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes,
You
we can
hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting presentation about tigers, and I want to ask you next question. How, according to your opinion, conservation tigers can support improvement social well-being and the resolution problems of food insecurity?
Trishant, can you elaborate
Yes,
the
sir.
question,
I'll
please?
be. Yes, sir. Sir is asking how, according to you, conservation of tigers can support problems of social well-being and also problems of food security.
Food security. Certainly, tigers do provide a good amount of livelihood security, not food security in the real sense. When there were no tigers in Panna, the total tourism income only by selling the tickets we used to get around say 25 lakhs per year. Now it's almost touching 10 crores a year. And second thing, in overall, only in one village by name Madala, where from the main tourism entry happens, around say 17 crores of livelihood turnover takes place there in one area. So yes, certainly it's to some extent skewed with respect to a particular area or village, but certainly it's helping the lot of livelihoods and social security in those areas. And every tiger reserve really adds to the social security of the people in and around. That's how. That's my answer.
Yes, thank you very much. And I want to
Thank you,
ask
sir.
you
Thank you, sir.
another short question. I want to ask you what, according to your opinion, a role of education system in conservation tigers.
Yes, sir. Certainly, it's a very quite a relevant question. The education has to happen within the department for the people who manage it from time to time, because education training has to be ongoing projects. And second thing, it has to happen with the public outside in the immediate vicinity also. That's where our Panna nature camps, which I said, almost covered more than 11,000 people over last say 12 years time or 17, whatever may, because forgetting the exact figures, in more than 365 camps that we conducted. So the purpose of these camps was taking the purpose of conservation through education to the local public. If a child goes and attends say almost say 12 hours, 10 hours outdoor education with respect to conservation, he gets back to the home, he start pestering his parents and other, what should I say, his gully mates, telling he has gone there, I've seen this, that, and these are very important. That's how Panna's conservation movement moved beyond the park boundaries. People really love the Panna. They were there together, without whom support the poaching could have been never stopped, other than what we have achieved through power of deterrence of punishing the accused. Support is very essential at the local level, and for that education is the only way that how we can take the things forward. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yes. I'd like to unmute the next participant, Mr. Akshay, Chief Photography. Could you please unmute yourself?
Good afternoon, Murthy sir. It's an absolute honor to listen from you, right? I think I was watching Sumesh Likhi sir's documentary also.
Thank you,
there
thank
also
you,
you said,
Akshay.
that, while the T3 was sedated, right, you touched their feet and said, that a panna ko abad kar do, right? That was such a moving statement to hear for me. So thank you, for passing down a living, thriving forest to our generation. But however, as we look at the modern landscape, right, an imminent danger is looming over Panna in terms of the Ken-Betwa River linkage project, right? So from your perspective as the pioneer leader of this forest, how do you see this infrastructure project, right? And how can we, as the younger generation, do something about it? Like how can we go about preserving the forest, right? I think it's really sad that, so much effort was put in and now we have this project that, is going to hamper that landscape.
You have asked a wrong question for yourself. Suhash Kumar sir is also there, who is my guru. You see, Silent Valley happened way back in 75, around mid 70s to be. And then without any social media, people had a wisdom to agitate for it and get it stopped by the political establishments. Now we have so much of social media network around. Why it's not happening?
Yep.
And in Hasdev, a particular person who was agitating has been awarded some international award. He got the award, but still the forests are again being felled for in this phase 2. So in all probability, as the first person, forgetting his name, I am very poor in remembering the names. He asked a very relevant question: how the education contributes. As on today, I am into the conservation education field for almost last 2 decades. And then my gut feeling is that things are not moving even in spite of the efforts around. Many of those, what should I say, nature outings happening as a part of their getting relief during the weekends. एक मतलब आउटिंग के हिसाब से जा रहे हैं, एक पिकनिक मना के लौट रहे हैं,
Yep.
वहां से सीख के हमें क्या करना है, इसके लिए कुछ करना पड़ेगा. अक्षय, आप जैसे लोग कुछ करिएगा. इट्स वेरी एसेंशियल.
Absolutely.
मतलब लेट तो हो गया है, बट स्टिल पीपल शुड बी कंसर्न्ड अबाउट द मदर नेचर.
I'm
मेरा
surprised
टाइगर
how
रिजर्व का जो मतलब टाक है, इट्स नॉट माई प्राइमरी टाक. माई टाक इज अबाउट द बायोडाइवर्सिटी एंड आवर फ्यूचर. वी आर पार्ट ऑफ द लाइफ. Unless we care for the rest of the life, our life will be in danger. Already it is in danger. This time, I am really cursing the nation not to get any monsoon, because people are not realizing the value of the water.
absolutely.
जब त्राही त्राही मचेगा पानी के लिए, तब तो शायद कुछ सोचेंगे. देखते हैं. I don't know. Of course, El Nino is there. मतलब जिस हाथ से हम वो देते हैं, उसी हाथ से वापस भी आता है.
Thank you.
Please do something. I don't want to demotivate you. कुछ तो करिए. अपनी तरह जो है 10 लोगों को साथ में कर लीजिए. बहुत बड़ी बात है. थैंक यू. और एक इम्पॉर्टेंट इश्यू है कि सुभाष कुमार साहब ने मुझे रिमाइंड किया है फॉर द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. इन मध्य प्रदेश 33% ऑफ द गेट मनी रेज्ड थ्रू द टिकट सेलिंग फॉर टूरिज्म पर्पसेस is given to the eco development committees for their own development. Other than the indirect livelihoods that they get due to the park area, they get this amount, 33%, 1/3 of the particular gate money for their own, use, siphoned back to them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your answer.
Welcome.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you. Just wait to unmute the next person who's raised their hand. I can't see the name. Kindly request you to unmute yourself. You'll see a prompt on your screen.
There is one Sikhat Rana and rest of the guests. Please.
Okay.
One by one,
Can I-
please. Those
Can
who
I- can
raised
I
the
ask a
questions. Please.
Please go ahead.
Sir, in your this is Vinod here, sir, from Bangalore.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, thanks for your presentation. It is a fantastic presentation. It's eye-opening for a lot
Thank
of
you.
us. And sir, I just want to know, in your presentation, you clearly mentioned this irony when you're doing the relocation, and also the tigers are getting extinct. Okay, but in a long run, don't you think even Raghu Chandawat in his report is clearly mentioned that there's so many villages are inside the park that is contributing to the lot of disturbance to the tigers and all. In a broader way, the relocation is better, right, sir? Just to understand much.
Actually, you see, there's a big difference about the relocations that happen around the developmental project and in protected areas, especially in tiger reserves. It is basically a voluntary relocation. Some, what should I say, big inconvenience will be there for the people, because you are taking them out of their own area and then trying to settle them in a different area. So, but as a park manager who is there as an in charge has to ensure that their economic levels as well as the social harmony has to be re-established in a new area of relocation. That's very essential. And better option is, instead of giving a golden handshake with 15 lakhs per eligible family unit, better give them land and then rest of the cash benefits to them. Because if you are going to give them the 100% cash, there are very many hawks moving around to snatch that money away. In 4 or 5 years, वो सब लोग नाच गाना करके पैसा खत्म कर देते हैं. You go to the Jabalpur, many people are there moving around, not even as a rickshaw pullers. They are the outies of Bargi Dam. So some of those relocation examples we have to keep in mind, because entire community is against the conservation. In such a situation, if you do a wrong relocation, then people will pounce upon you. Again, they get an extra stick to beat you. So the relocations inside the tiger reserves and protected areas has to be highly handled in a humane way. उनको जो बेनिफिट देना दिल खोल के दीजिएगा. इवन द कैटल कॉम्पनसेशन होता है, क्रॉप रेडिंग होता है, उसके लिए भी दिल खोल के पैसा देना चाहिए, क्योंकि अपने जेब से तो कोई अधिकारी दे नहीं रहा है. दिस इज व्हाट आई ट्राइड टू इम्बाइब विथ माय स्टाफ, एंड देन टू ग्रेट एक्सटेंट that's how we protected our tigers by getting poisoned again, because मतलब killing of tigers inside the park area took place because of the direct hunting as well as the poisoning. Both the things added to it, other than electrocution.
Sir, my second question is now a lot of tiger reserves are establishing all over India now. Even though the tigers are not there, but the tiger reserve tag is there. Okay, don't you think your model, what you have, the reintroduction model, what you have spoken now, can be introduced in those tiger reserves? For example, I'm a great fan of Ranthambore area and Rajasthan landscape. Okay, wherein we have Kaladevi National Park, where there is no tiger at all. Okay. But only one or two tigers have moved from the Ranthambore area. But don't you think we have a lot of tiger reserves now, but there is no tigers where your model can be bought in, sir? So that's what.
You see, the document I showed in the second slide,
Yeah.
will cover all those tiger reserves where there are no tigers, but 2-3 important issues. First thing, you need to have a proper governance. Do we have a proper manpower to attend that particular tiger reserve area which has been declared on paper? And most important issue in India as of today is prey base. I am a consultant for Chhattisgarh government for Udanti and Sita Nadi tiger reserves, tiger reintroductions, but prey base is not there. Recently, some of the officials from Andhra also got in touch with me for that Papikondalu Tiger Reserve. There the officials were telling, say, everywhere there is a noose, there is no prey base. So for getting a tiger carnivore reintroduced, first thing, you need to have a proper governance, right people, right place, right training. And second thing, security has to be given top priority. And third thing, prey base has to be brought in back. And prey base cannot be brought back in a single day. It will take good amount of time, minimum 10 years. First, you have to sow some seed. You have to take some source populations of prey base, then get them released and then provide them proper protection. Then only tigers will start, what should I say, having a better families around, or proper population dynamics will happen. Without food, tigers cannot survive. And food is basically a wild prey base has to be there. Domestic, yes, certainly to some extent it will supplement. But even the domestic cattle is coming down drastically in India, even at the countryside also.
Sir, I'm sorry to ask this question. Then why, before coming with the tiger reserve tag, they'd have seen all these parameters, then they would have come with the tiger reserve tag, right? So,
no, there are two issues. I would try to give my perception about it. First thing, they are increasing the tiger reserve area because now there is a big political push for getting a tiger reserve in their area. You see, we could have never thought in Madhya Pradesh to have 9 tiger reserves. एक तरफ जो है कि नया सीएम आते ही रातापानी को टाइगर रिजर्व डिक्लेयर किया, देन माधवराज सिंधिया, ज्योतिराज सिंधिया सेट की माधव को डिक्लेयर करिए, and then Naurade has been declared under compulsion because of this dam project. So there is a political push, not only in Madhya Pradesh, even outside also. It's happening in Rajasthan also. And second thing, NTCA thinks that once we bring it under the tiger reserve network, there is a future for it, not immediately, in the long-term way. Third thing, even the funds for the NTCA has been totally curtailed. Now there are around say 52 or 55 tiger reserves, and total budget for NTCA is only 300 plus crores. Now divide it, how much you are going to get? Tiger reserves do a better management because of the sustained funding for a particular intervention. And without money, I could not have done all the tiger interactions there. I never had any financial, what should I say, scarcity or crunch at any point of time. Because the fund flow was very what's continuous, because in Madhya Pradesh, we have a buffer mechanism through development fund. And development fund is constituted by the gate money receipts. That's again used for the betterment of the protected areas. So one has to address that central funding issue also. That's very essential. यदि बच्चों को प्रॉपर एजुकेट करेंगे ना, यही बच्चे आगे चल के कोई ना कोई ब्यूरोक्रेट बनेगा, कोई ना कोई मंत्री बनेगा. तब ये बात समझ के हो सकता है कि 20 साल पहले कुछ इंडिया में बेहतर स्थिति निर्मित हो. जी.
So, sir, one last question again. Is that the relocation?
Kindly wind
Okay,
up
sorry.
fast so that we can move on to the other parts.
Yeah, sorry. Is that relocation the package what we are giving to the villagers is, which way back we done that? We have to look into that again, and that's my last question. Thank you.
Already looked into now. Earlier it was 10 lakhs. Now it is 15 lakhs.
That is
Yes.
sufficient, sir?
You see, to great extent sufficient, provided the funds are used properly. But outside the, I'm insisting, please give them the land, because outside the protected area, the land value is very high. They will not be able to procure any piece of land with the amount that money you are giving. But if you are going to divert a PF area or revenue area for their rehabilitation, that will reduce the actual cost of investment by the outies within the 15 lakhs. That's what I am telling.
Thank you for joining us.
People should go for only for land plus cash incentive.
Move to unmute the next participants. So kindly unmute this one.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Murthy. A lovely presentation by you.
Ji, thank you very much, sir.
My name is Rajneesh Mehta, and I had my two questions which have already been answered by you. One was the Ken Betwa and the new tiger reserves that have come up. So I would like to ask something about my home state, which you're already looking after, Chhattisgarh, a tiger reserve, newly nominated tiger reserve. Around 5 years back, it was nominated as a tiger reserve. That is Achanakmar Tiger Reserve, very close to my hometown, Bilaspur. So as children, when we used to be driving into that, it was a national park that time, we could see leopards on the road and a lot of prey base. But fortunately, it has now been nominated as a tiger reserve. So is there, but I've not seen any real push to bring up a prey base or relocation, or are still be depending that, some corridors would be protected or reconstituted with the adjoining national parks and tiger reserves in Kanha or Bandhavgarh. Are we still dependent on that?
Dependent on what? For what?
On bringing up these corridors. So relocation is relocation is not required, and the carnivores can move into the tiger reserve, say like Achanakmar. It's got a lot of scope. It's a beautiful forest.
I'm going to address your question because I have a first-hand knowledge. I went to Achanakmar 3 times over last 5 years to address these issues only. My understanding with Chhattisgarh is that there's a lot of, push for only human rights for whatever reasons. Because Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh are siblings.
Yes.
We were offshoots of the same bigger tree. But at the same time, with respect to conservation movement, Chhattisgarh is in a very, what I can say, it's a very initial stages only. But at the same time, to great extent, they have lost the ground. Coming back to the Achanakmar, most of the plain areas where you can have better prey base in the form of cheetah, spotted deer, it's all fully habitated in Achanakmar. Only hilly portions are left out. where tigers migrate from Bandhavgarh and then Kanha on their own. You see, there is a breeding tigress available within the limited habitat of the hilly terrain where only sambar is a prey base. Sambar also does need to have a ecotonal zone with the plain as well as the hilla. Of course, it's a hilly species,
Yes.
but it requires some plains also to better, breeding and other purposes. So, a female tiger is there, some 2 or 3, male tigers are there, 2 or 3 female tigers are there. And proper ratio is always sits skewed. 1:1 male, 1 female is a very adverse ratio for a progeny to pick up. Suddenly another male comes the next year, because most of the migrations in the tiger community happens from the males only, because they don't get a place in their place of origin. So in Achanak Maar, you have to check the extra males entering into Achanak Maar. That's one thing. And second thing, you have to convince the political bosses as well as the villagers for relocation purposes, which is a very tough task as I see of today. There is still good unit level management. Ganesh hai wahan pe, ek deputy director hai, one Manoj Mishra hai, field director. They are very good. But at the same time, these issues of have plains getting occupied by the humans and then extra males entering the Achanak Maar is really putting some halt over the population buildup. Earlier, there was 7 to 8 tigers there. Recently, they announced there are 17 tigers. But sex ratio and prey base need to be addressed very clearly there. That's a very important issue. Thank you. I think I have addressed your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Going to unmute the next guest. Okay, I've prompted the guest to unmute yourself. Kindly unmute yourself. You'll see the prompt on your screen.
Some guest has raised his hand without any name.
Right. I'll just unmute the other guest right after. Just a moment. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes.
सर नमस्कार सर के मिश्रा बोल रहा हूँ।
नमस्ते मिश्रा जी, प्लीज बताइए कैसे हैं?
सर बढ़िया हूँ सर, आपका आशीर्वाद है। मैं बोल रहा था सर, ये जो टाइगर और ये लेपर्ड वगैरह जो जंगल्स के कोरियर से बाहर आते हैं, तो गर्मी के दिनों में वहाँ पानी की व्यवस्था नहीं रहती, तो क्या वो ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है कि जिसमें बोर करके और जो अपना सोलर सिस्टम के माध्यम से उसका पंप चालू रखें, जिससे कि उनको पानी उपलब्ध होता रहे? क्योंकि प्राय वो कहता है जो टब बनाते हैं वो उसमें पानी रुकता ही नहीं है, या तो उड़ जाता है या फिर वो गंदा हो जाता है। तो एक तो वो प्रॉब्लम, और दूसरी बात हमारी छिंदवाड़ा में जमतारा गुमतारा पैंच का जो एरिया है उसमें से अभी टाइगर और वो लेपर्ड बाहर आए, और उसमें एक बुजुर्ग जो भैंस चराने गया था उसको मार के खा लिया। तो सर उसके लिए जो आपका पन्ना टाइगर रिजर्व का मॉडल है, क्या उसके कुछ एसओपी लागू हो सकता है सर यहाँ पर पैंच में?
नहीं, सब जगह ऑल गुड प्रैक्टिस कैन बी एड्रेस्ड इन ए राइट वे। बेसिक इश्यू ये है कि वी हैड ए फेज ऑफ कि less number of tigers a decade back. Now we have surplus tigers and surplus carnivores, you can say. At the same time, our over enthusiasm of dealing the tigers in tourism areas, exposing the tigers' progeny to great number of human beings, brings their natural fear for the human beings into a background. That's one issue, where carnivores will lose the natural fear for the human beings. And second thing, when you know there are spillover tigers or panthers around, then you have to be very careful. There need to be a good amount of education among the locals in and around. In open forest like Madhya Pradesh, other than Kanha, you can really address the issue of tigers if they are around, and you please don't go there. And then if you are hell-bent upon going there, then there will be a clash. That's another issue. And third issue, exposing the tiger progenies to humans in a very bigger way because of increased tourism issues, that issue also need to be addressed. Because tigers will move out. after an age, when they move out, we need to permit them to move out. Instead of getting into clash with the tigers, there has to be a good education program. It's happening in Pench area, but at the same time, unfortunately, man-animal conflict is growing up in Pench as well as in Bandhavgarh area. It started in Panna also, but wherever such things are happening, it's better to have chain link fences to avoid tigers entering into the human habitation. That's only one solution that we have as of now.
सर क्या ये जहाँ पे ज्यादा हो गए टाइगर वगैरह, तो जहाँ पे अभी नहीं है, जो सिर्फ नाम भर रखे हैं, टैग मिला है, वहां शिफ्ट नहीं कर सकते इन टाइगर्स को?
कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ये सब पैसे से संबंधित मामला है। और दूसरा, जिस टाइगर रिजर्व में जो जिनको टाइगर चाहिए वो मांग करें, और बाकी जैन मैंने प्रेवेसी नहीं है तो टाइगर ले जाके क्या करोगे? That's
अच्छा, हाँ,
another,
उनका फूड
that's
प्रॉब्लम
another
रहेगा।
problem. जी,
you,
इवन
sir.
अभी नौरादेही में जो है देर आर अराउंड से 30+ टाइगर्स, बट वहां पे प्रेवेस की इश्यू है। धीरे धीरे अभी वहां पर भी 2 लोगों को अटैक किया, स्टाफ को ही अटैक किया नौरादेही में।
जी सर।
और एक बयारमा करके नदी है, नदी के किनारे किनारे टाइगर्स रहते हैं
जी,
और
पानी
लोगों
के
को
लिए।
भी पानी के पास जाना ही पड़ता है। सो प्रेबेस को हमें मतलब बिल्डअप करना बहुत जरूरी है।
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू।
धन्यवाद सर, हमें ज्वाइन करने के लिए। वो तो अनम्यूट मिस्टर कृष्ण कुमार है। So kindly unmute yourself.
Yes. So can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Mr. Murthy. I think the presentation was wonderful and extremely informative. I just have 2 questions. I don't know how much relevance there would be there. The first question is something which you had addressed even earlier in one of the guest questions, is that this kind of information that you have spoken about, it's so much enlightening and so much of knowledge that is available. I'm just wondering, why can't such programs be taken to some of the schools and urban centers? For example, the thought that came to my mind is, for example, this kind of a presentation to be done in schools, say, for example, in Nagpur, which is closer to Tadoba and Page, right? Children are not aware. Creating a awareness among schools on nature and wildlife is absolutely zero and zilch. And I think that, some of these, starting point somewhere where children are actually exposed to what is being done to save nature and to increase something like a tiger population. That was one question that I had. The second question is to do with the tourism as far as such tiger reserves are concerned. I am a frequent traveler to Tadoba, Page, recently went to Ranthambore. What I find is that there is no SOP, no standard operating procedure with regards to tourism entry into these tiger reserves. For example, let me give an example, that if Tadoba does not allow a tourist to use mobile phones, right? Mobile phones are not allowed. You go to Page. In Page, mobile phones are allowed, right? In Ranthambore, it is something else. If you go to Kana, it is a total. Why can't, if there's a national body, why can't you have a standard SOP which looks at controlling this, so that there is a firm control over how you. I'm sharing this because when I went to Masai Mara in Kenya, the rules and regulations are absolutely unbreakable. You cannot finger around with those rules and regulations with high penalty for the forest as well as for the tourists. So these were some thoughts which came to my mind. I'm just trying to tickle your mind on this, sir. Thank you.
As such, I may make a bigger statement. Please excuse me. We are not interested to be a law-abiding citizen, first thing. Whether you are on the other side of the tourism or you are on the next side of the manager who want to implement it. So, of course, the basic issue of a manager to follow these issues in a right way in a protected area is a forest officer has to get a diploma training in wildlife management. And then as of now, we don't have many. And then it's our period, Suhash Kumar sir and then other log, hamara guru log the. So we had more than say 20 plus officers at the IFS cadre who were trained in wildlife. So the state government also had a good amount of choices for them to place the different people in different places. The same diploma courses apply for ACF level, certificate courses apply for rangers level. So presently, the HR inputs with respect to addressing a protected area is almost nil in India, one thing. And second thing, recruitment wise, the number of officers that are required is also very low at this point of time. It's across all the All India services. Third thing, that's how we follow very many ad hoc and local measures to address some of the local issues. If they are for the common good, that's good. But if it is for my own good, then there is a problem. There was a big embezzlement in Tadoba. Some embezzlement took even in Panna also, gave gate money. And then with respect to mobiles, yes, I had read about the news where Supreme Court or NTCA said no mobiles inside the Tiger Reserve. So, but at the same time, it's allowed in some places, it's not allowed in some places. So these are also day-to-day management issues. So if I, as an individual, is an upright person to be law-abiding and from both the sides, I will try to address those issues on day-to-day basis. So this is a big issue. So basically, sir, it's a big shortcoming with the HR of the country. So I don't think you have got any answer out of it. But coming to the education is a big thing that has to happen. I tried various types of interventions with the communication of taking the conservation education to the people, especially students. Now I have devised a program where I am addressing the teachers with an idea that there will be a ripple effect where the teachers can address the issue there at their both formal and informal levels. First year we have completed for that particular course. We will be starting next this course. But what I mean to say, in the government system, conservation education does not have any place. Climate change has been taken out. And then environmental education has been made optional. So देश में जो है ना सर कि we have मतलब lots and lots of engineers around for last 4 decades. तो मनोज मिश्रा साहब अब नहीं रहे, वो बोलते हैं इंजीनियर और कंजर्वेशनिस्ट एक दूसरे के खिलाफ है, इसलिए है इंजीनियर को खोदना है और कंजर्वेशनिस्ट को रोकना है. ये दोनों कैसे कहाँ तक समन्वय बिठा लेंगे, डिफिकल्ट इश्यू. What we need is a sustainable development. It is the only mantra. But in India, as of now, I don't see such a thing happening around.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Menon, for joining us. Thank you. I'd like to now unmute Mr. Sripati Vaishnav. Sir, kindly let me know if you have any time limitations on your end or anything like that, and I can.
I don't have as of now. Another half an hour, that's fine with me.
Not. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hello, sir. I'm Sripati Vaishnav from Telangana. So I've been I've been collaborating with Forest Department and tiger monitoring in northern Telangana, especially in Kawal Tiger Reserve. So as you know, the problems which are which are in Kawal Tiger Reserve, and also I've been collaborating with Forest Department to the same tiger monitoring in dispersal tigers till Nizamabad, which is in central Telangana landscape. So I'm glad that you've been reached out in Explorer release. I do not know. Sir, can I know, as you know, the Explorer, which is released in Papikondalu National Park, has been creating cayuse from a people's perspective. So as we know, there is a lack of prey base there. So may I know, should tiger reintroductions only be attempted after ensuring adequate prey density, habitat security, and minimal human disturbance, or can this be strengthened after release?
In Panna, everything, as I said, took place in ad hoc way. Simultaneously, we could successfully address all those issues. The only saving grace for me was that there was a good seed nursery of prey base available. So rest of the security issues can be addressed once you are serious about it. Even I have visited Kawal twice. of course, some 5 years back. The issues there is again, your political system does not have any iota of concern for the conservation. I don't know, earlier the TRS system was like that. With the Congress changing in the power, I don't know how the things are moving there. But still, you have to get some good amount of support from the political bosses. How it can be done, only local managers need to search about it. And second thing, security, now extremism, I think, has been taken out to great extent. Now department has to chip in. But again, I have read some reports which are very serious, telling that because the extremists were taken out, poachers have taken over in the Chhattisgarh and other joining Maharashtra areas. This is a serious issue. So the same type of situation shall not happen either in Kaval or other tiger reserves of Telangana. So please address this issue, because you have only 11% of the land area within the forest. Geographically. That's another serious concern. So prey-based build-up, political bosses getting support of the political bosses, and then addressing the issues of low prey base. These are the issues that needs to be taken up seriously. If you start today, things will start resulting in another decadal time, because one needs to have a long-term goals in such issues where you have very difficult situation. Now you want to really do something, then local support, that's another big essential. I think there is good amount of local opposition. So local managers has to find out certain good ways of communicating with the locals. That's also another essential issue. I say around almost 6-7 years back after my retirement, I volunteered my services free of cost for Kaval, but that offer was not taken up. No issue.
Wow.
Ji.
Wonderful, sir. Thanks for letting me know this. And yes, sure. And sir, in case if I could reach you anytime in such situations
You are free to get in touch with me. I have given my email ID there in the first slide itself. Otherwise, I will place it, or I request Trishan to place it in the
We'll be sending in
chat
the
box.
PPT to
Chat
the
box for
participants.
everyone's benefit who wants to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, sir. I'm glad. Thank you so much for your presentation. I liked it.
Thank you.
Very inspiring.
Thank you, Shripati, for joining us. Pratyusha, I request you to kindly share sir's contact details in the chat box. I'd like to unmute the next participant, sir. I've prompted you to unmute yourself. Kindly.
Hello. Hello, can you hear?
Yes.
हाँ सर, मैं एक्चुअली ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि ये आप जो कर रहे हैं बहुत ही बढ़िया ये प्रेजेंटेशन हुआ, और इसके बारे में कुछ मैंने ये नहीं, मैं कंजर्वेशन फील्ड में 95 से हूँ, और आई एम लिविंग इन अमरावती नियर मेलघाट टाइगर रिजर्व, एंड we have a tiger since in our Pohra market region, since a single male tiger is here in our Pohra market region, and मेरा ये ऑब्जर्वेशन है कि जब हम प्रे बेस नहीं इंक्रीज करते, तब तक ये सब जो वाइल्ड लाइफ है वो हमारे सिटी एरिया में और इधर करेंगे, और इसका मेन है कि लोगों में ये प्रेवेस का जो है, इसका जो जो हैबिटेट है वो कैसे हम इंक्रीज करें, उनका जो फूड है जैसा ग्रास है बाकी का सब ये, और ये सब हमको वहां से इम्प्रूव करना चाहिए। और सबसे मेन बात जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व की है कि एक फीमेल है कि जो बेटे के साथ मैंने what I have observed in my past since 97, 98, 99, those period I have observed one female tigress, and she was जब वो बच्ची थी वो उसके माँ के साथ रहती थी, जब वो बड़ी हो गई और फिर उसके माँ के साथ कम से कम 4 साल वो माँ के साथ शिकार करती थी, शेयर करती थी। ऐसा मैंने मेलघाट में देखा, मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है। तो क्या आपके साथ ऐसा कुछ हुआ है क्या?
मैं आपकी क्वेश्चन का आखिरी पोर्शन मिस कर दिया, प्लीज सॉरी, रिपीट करें।
सर, जो फीमेल ने जो मादा जो फीमेल रहती, जो टाइग्रेस रहती, वो जब बच्चे रहते, बच्चे 3 साल के बाद वो माँ से छूट जाते हैं। पर कभी ऐसा आपने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि वो जो एक है फीमेल, जो उसकी बेटी है, और वो उसके साथ रहती है, बिकॉज 2-3 साल उसके साथ रहती है, साथ में साथ शिकार करते हैं, और दे शेयर देयर बाउंड्रीज, उसके साथ रहती है वो, ऐसा मैंने देखा है।
नहीं, देखिए बेसिक इश्यू ये है कि नेचर भी इनब्रीडिंग को अवॉइड करता है। कैसे
हाँ,
अवॉइड करता है? यदि एक लिटर में मेल फीमेल दोनों हैं, मेल
हम्म,
को माँ भगा देती है,
बराबर है।
और
हम्म,
दूसरा जो उसका पिता हो या दूसरा मेल हो, जब
हाँ,
तक वो उनके बराबर टक्कर लेने की स्थिति ना हो, वो उनको वहां रहने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा। दैट्स वन थिंग।
बराबर
एंड
है।
सेकंड थिंग, फीमेल्स
हम्म,
को एडजस्ट करता है अपनी इलाके में।
हम्म,
मेल
हम्म,
फीमेल,
हम्म,
माँ जो है
हम्म,
बेटियों को अलाउ करता है, अपनी
हम्म,
एरिया को थोड़ा श्रिंक कर लेता है। बट
हम्म,
अगेन दैट विल डिपेंड अपॉन कि यदि
हम्म,
आपका क्रिटिकल प्राइम एरिया के ऊपर माँ और बेटी का झगड़ा हो, लाइक
हम्म,
मछली के साथ हुआ, उनकी बेटी ने उनको खिलाफत कर दिया,
हाँ,
तो फिर वहां पे एक बार अडल्टहुड पहुंचने के बाद वहां पे
हम्म,
ह्यूमन सोसाइटी जैसा कोई इमोशंस प्ले नहीं करते।
अच्छा,
दे बिकम अडल्ट, दे बिकम इंडिविजुअल्स, दे विल बिकम कॉम्पिटिटर विथ ईच अदर।
नहीं
वो जो
वो तो
एक
है।
हम नहीं, मेरा ये कहना है कि
हाँ,
बेटियों को माँ अपनी एरिया मतलब थोड़ा एरिया दे देती है, लेकिन
अच्छा,
अपनी गोदी में नहीं बिठा लेगी।
अच्छा,
ये कह रहा हूँ
अच्छा,
जी। उसके लिए
अच्छा,
फिर सफिशिएंट एरिया चाहिए, सफिशिएंट
हाँ,
प्रिवेश चाहिए। यदि
हाँ,
बेटी ज्यादा जिद्दी हो, उनको ये चाहिए कि माँ का एरिया ही चाहिए, तो माँ और
नहीं,
बेटी के बीच में भी फाइट होता है।
नहीं, मैंने जो ऑब्जर्व किया है उस दौरान, कि वो सिर्फ जब बायसन का किल करते थे, तो ही वो साथ में मिलके बायसन का किल करते थे।
वो बहुत ही रेयरली शेयर करते हैं जब वो अडल्टहुड में
हम्म,
पहुंचते हैं।
अच्छा,
क्योंकि शेयर करते हैं तो भी
हाँ,
ऐसा है कि कोई आके खा के चला गया, बीच का गैप में जाके तीसरा दूसरा आके खा लिया। लेकिन यदि बच्चे, माँ और बाप,
हम्म,
ये मतलब तीनों मतलब लोगों को एक साथ, यदि बहुत ही हार्मनी जबरदस्त है, माने माँ
हम्म,
को बाप के ऊपर कोई शक नहीं है, तो बाप
हाँ,
भी उनको आपको किल के पास दिखेगा। लेकिन वो जो कब्स है अराउंड टू बिलो 2.5 years ओल्ड ही होंगे, उससे बड़े होंगे तो फिर मिलके नहीं खाते।
नहीं, नहीं, वो मैंने जो 3 साल मैंने सब जो
नहीं,
उस
आपने
वक्त,
देखा कोई एक्सेप्शनल केस होगा, तो
हाँ, हाँ,
मेरा मतलब बेसिक एकालजी मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ। थैंक यू।
अच्छा। और एक लेपर्ड के इसमें मैं थोड़ा सा बोलना चाहता हूँ। हेलो।
बताइएगा।
जी जी।
मैंने अभी रिसेंटली आई हैव ऑब्जर्व कि एक मेल फीमेल लेपर्ड है, उनके साथ जो 2002 में उनको 3 सब कब हो गए थे, तो अभी वो सब एडल्ट 3 जो है उनके साथ रहते हैं, और वो साथ में अभी वो हमारे जिसमें मैंने उसके ऊपर एक रिसेंट रिव्यू JBNHS को भेजा है। पर ऐसा हुआ है कि जो मेल फीमेल दोनों हैं, साथ में रह रहे, आई है ऑब्जर्व फॉर एन आवर, वो
नहीं, वो
जो मेल है, हाँ,
एक्सेप्शंस होते हैं सर, स्पेशली मेटिंग पे टाइम पे
हाँ, नहीं,
कुछ
दीज आर नॉट
एक्सेप्शंस होते हैं। नहीं नहीं, मेरे बात सुनिएगा। लेकिन इट्स नॉट ए नॉर्म, नाम नाम में ऐसा नहीं होता। क्योंकि
अच्छा,
कार्निवोर्स है अपने, उनका जो
हम्म,
सबसे बड़ा कंपटीशन फूड का ही होता है, इसलिए वो
अच्छा,
आइसोलेटेड रहते हैं, मतलब सॉलिटरी रहते हैं। इट्स नॉट लाइक ए लायंस प्राइड।
अच्छा, नहीं सर,
हाँ,
आपका
लायंस लायंस
आपका
प्राइड में भी मतलब फीमेल्स मारते, मेल आके उठा के ले जाता है, बच्चों
हाँ,
को
हाँ,
आखिर में मिलता है वहां पे खाना। तो मेरा
बराबर
ये
है।
कहना कि आप जो बातें जो कह रहे हैं वो कहीं एक अबनॉर्मालिटी है जो नॉर्म्स के बाहर है, नॉर्मालिटी के बाहर है, बस उतना ही। थैंक यू।
अच्छा, थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir.
वेलकम।
I'm going to unmute Mr. Venkata Sai. Uh, Kindly unmute yourself, please. You see the prompt on your screen. Requesting Mr. Venkata Sai to unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning, all.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for joining me. First of all, thank you for Mr. Murthy, sir. It was
Ji, thank you,
great pleasure
Venkat.
to meeting you.
Ji.
Yeah, you are the asset for our country, sir. I'm so proud of you. And
थैंक यू. अपना काम
actually,
सिंसियर करो, सब लोग असेट बन जाएंगे. अपना काम को
yes,
सिंसियर
yes,
करना है, बस इतना ही करना है. जी.
yes, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, actually, I hailed from Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada, sir.
Please, Chappan. But let us converse in
Great, sir,
English.
great.
No issue.
Yes, sir. Yes, so everybody can understand. Sir, actually, we got a NST here, right, sir? Nagarjun Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve. It was one of the biggest tiger reserves in India, I think so, sir. What are the measures were taken by the government for for enhancing the population of tiger in this? As you earlierly mentioned that you are given insights about Papikonda National Park relocate. I want to know about my state status about tigers, sir, because adjacent regions of Maharashtra and all these states are getting more and more tigers and more tourism and more revenue. But we are, as we got the largest tiger reserve in our state, we can't able to do any efforts. Sir. Please, can you please give me any insights why this was happening to our Andhra Pradesh, sir?
Andhra Pradesh, I hail from Andhra Pradesh, original as well as the present. We don't have good quality forests around, first thing.
Okay.
Second thing, with respect to Nagarjun Sagar, Srisailam Tiger Reserve, it got bifurcated, both into Telangana as well as the Andhra. And third
Okay,
thing,
Amrabad Tiger Reserve and Nagarjuna, yes, sir.
yes, that's the third thing. I have seen very good amount of management there in the Srisailam Tiger Reserve. There is a good amount of improvement with respect to management as well as the tigers numbers there. Go to NTA site, I have not checked it. But at the same time, see, lot of extremism problems were there earlier, but now that has been eliminated. So there is a positive sign with respect to Srisailam Tiger Reserve. The only issue is that timely interventions, prey-based improvement that need to be addressed. And then if there is any amount of poaching from chenchus with respect to bushmeat, that need to be addressed and checked properly. That's all.
Okay, sir. Actually, I got a data recently, sir, that 4,500 families are living in core zone of this NSTR. How can we relocate or rehabilitate these people into? How can we convince them to rehabilitate from one place to another place that they are?
That's the basic actual business of the manager who is sitting there, and he need to communicate with them, address their issues properly, and then only follow the route of voluntary relocation. There should not be any involuntary relocations. Convince the people, they will be ready to move out, provided you offer them a better alternative. That's very important.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me this chance. Thank you.
I'd like to move on to the next. So before I move on to the next question, I'd like to ask you something a little more on a personal note for my information.
Please. Why not?
Like the way things are going in the country, do you get worried that a lot of years of conservation work can be undone very fast if the government doesn't take the right steps?
I am in a severe depression.
I'm so sorry to ask you this question, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who have joined in from who are from a conservationist background and who have either worked for the preservation of trees, animals, flora, fauna overall, and all of them are facing a very major anxiety issue because of the actions. I have personally witnessed deforestation of massive scales from south to north, like whole country, in each and every state, one by one. And I was coincidentally traveling into each and every one of those states one by one. And the same news, same repetition in each and every state. And how do we cope with this? How do we
तो कोप करने के लिए मतलब सिवा और कोई choice नहीं है आपके पास. One thing, because my general impression is that people have lost connect with the nature, and they forgot that they are the products of the nature. See, matlab your food, your water, your oxygen you get from the nature. Nobody is creating it. You can produce them for your own benefit, especially with respect to food. You can't create water, you can't create oxygen. So, but who tries to remember it? Once you are cut off from the nature, you start thinking that nature is for you. Then you are in a fool's paradise. So, how to bring back that connect with the nature, with the Homo sapiens is a big issue. Now, whatever world I'm from Luxembourg, I am speaking, people are living in a very comfort, but their energy consumption is too high. Starting from opening the gate, outer gate, and entering the bathroom, everything involved with the electricity. And where from this electricity is coming? Some amount of what should I say, pollution and then resources consumption must be happening around. And then in India, one thing I'm very with the experience I can perceive it. Climate change is global, but destruction happens because of the extremities of the climate change is local. Because already you took your natural resources to a tripping point. Like what happened in Kerala just few days back, a big landslide took place in Wayanad. Why it happened? Because you have converted the land use pattern there. Same thing, almost Himalayas are done. Only Supreme Court now and then will cry ki Himachal will be vanished. Just by saying so, how it is helping? How the Supreme Court is helping the preservation or ensuring the safety of the Himachal or Himalayas? So what I mean to say, lip service is not going to do anything. Only thing, we need to ensure what is the destructive development and what is the sustainable development. We need to have a very clear-cut line between an ecological perspective of a particular area and then engineer's perspective of a development. We don't have ecologists in India, Trishant.
Right.
After my retirement, yes, I have written on my Facebook telling I need an economist with whom I want to sit and co-write articles so that my word is valued, weighed out in a better way. I didn't get a single economist, including from my own relatives. So economist perspective of development is overtaking everybody. Ecologist perspective is nowhere there around. Like all the river linking project is Subba Rao's project. Subba Rao तो engineer है. वहाँ ecologist का input है कहाँ उसमें? So any project that involves a natural resource has to have a both engineer and then ecologist sitting together and addressing the issues in a right way. Then only you will be able to have a sustainable development model with you. Just telling we are moving ahead with the SDGs is not going to happen. Put solar panels all around, SDG is not going to happen.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Moving on to the next question. I'd like to request Mr. Bhavani Shankar to kindly unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me and see me?
Yes, sir. Bhavani ji? Yes, hear you.
Am I visible?
You are not visible, sir.
No, your video is off.
You are Mr. India.
Sorry.
Yes, you are visible now.
I'm visible. So, firstly, thank you so much, Murthy sir, and thank you, Trishant. You are an amazing host. And Murthy sir, I've been attending.
Thank you.
I've been attending some of the sessions of lately, but this is the best, so far.
Thank you.
Last almost 2 years, I've been standing here because it's raining. I'm from Pune, and I've been, it's raining, but I'm still, the session is so much worthy. My question to you, sir, is about open wells. What is your experience, and what do you think, because open wells are impacting all kind of wildlife, and it pains to see, wildlife just dying for sheer negligence of humans. So could you please share some light on it, sir? Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavani Shankar ji. You see, this is one of the issues that we addressed in Panna. At that point of time, I came a news from Gir where some lions has fell into Kundi. Their open wells are called Kundis. So what they have done is they have constructed a parapet wall around the Kundis. So in Panna, we had a lot of open wells because of the human habitations were there inside the tiger reserve. So we have covered around say 3,600 open wells with stone walls so that there should not be any death of any tigers falling into a well and dying, because one of such tigers before 2009 died because of such an open well. And then we ensured that because मैंने जैसा पहले बताया हमारा तो अनमोल 3 ही टाइगर्स थे, उसमें किसी को मरने से हम आगे जा ही नहीं सकते थे. तो we have ensured every other मतलब chances of happening some damage for the tigers around. So similarly, outside the area where the corridors are there, where the wild animals move out, it's better to build a parapet walls, or if it is a dry well, it's better to close it. But for that, there has to be initiative from forest department as well as the general administration, that is collector's side. That has to happen only. That is the only way that can. Even we are ready to lose our children into the dug open tube wells. सो वाइल्ड एनिमल के लिए कंसर्न दिखाना और बड़ी बात है. तो लेकिन आप जैसे लोग इन चीजों ऐसी चीजों को इनिशिएट कर सकते हैं, लोगों का दिमाग में हर बार आपको शंका ना करना पड़ेगा. थैंक यू.
Thank you, sir. I would get in touch with you. You have shared your email address, and Trishant, I would like to get in touch with you too. Basically, I want to associate with myself with some mission, wherein I can contribute in any possible way. So I'll get in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us, sir. I'd like to unmute Mr. Bharat Bhaskar Bhosle. Sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Namaste, Bharat.
Namaskar, sir. Namaste, sir. Sir, I want to ask, recently in last 6 months before, there is from Vidarbha region, 3 tigers and 3 tigers are relocated to Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. That is the newly, but this is the Sahyadri in Konkan region in Western Ghat. From Mahabaleshwar to Koina.
I have an idea. Please tell.
Yeah. So it is a Vidarbha, it is a plate. It may be plate too, because I am sorry for that, because I have geography learned.
Your voice is breaking and too low volume wise.
Yeah. Okay, sir. My word is not proper because I learned geography at 10. So as per my knowledge, Vidarbha is a plateau region, means plain region, and that shifted to this mountain region as a Sahyadri mountain region, this tigress. And it is a narrow, very narrow and newly relocated. It is a totally new relocated. So how is the success rate will be? And there is any conflict and nearby peoples and tigers?
So there is no any difficulty for the animals to survive and adjust, because no animal, no life will allow herself or himself to die. First thing, they will try to adjust. But how fast, how good we are creating such an atmosphere for those animals to adjust is a big issue. Like cheetahs are getting adjusted in India. Now to great extent, managerial interventions in cheetah introduction is almost over. Only thing is that now cheetahs has to prove that they are able to adjust and they are able to survive. But at the same time, do we have the habitat and prey base around for the cheetahs to survive? The same question will apply for the tigers that are reintroduced into Sahyadri also. I exactly don't know the real prey base situation and other human angles about that particular tiger reserve as of now. But only issue is that you need to address the prey base, you need to address the proper local support and then proper protection there. And then earlier somebody was asking about the habitat improvement earlier or before that earlier audience. You have a very good person in Morutkar, Dr. Morutkar from Maharashtra, who is a grassologist, who is doing a good service for almost all the tiger reserves of India. So one can engage his services. You ask the Google, his name will be there, his contact number will be there. And then habitat improvement can be done with the help of Dr. Morutkar. So that's one important issue that I forgot earlier to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to now unmute Mr. Prajwal Vishnu. Kindly ask your question.
Hello, sir. I am a zoology student. I am from Amravati. I am working with a wildlife NGO working in near city forest is a Pora Malghat forest just near the city. It is a patchy and dry deciduous forest, sir. It has a large number of leopards. But from 2 to 3 years, a male tiger is living here. And there is no presence of female, but prey base is much larger, but only bears and Indian bison are not present here, but the sambars, cheetahs are present here. Then what should be a conservation for this tiger should be done? It should be relocated to another region.
How far is this particular area from Pune?
It is Amravati, sir, Vidarbha region.
अच्छा अमरावती
हाँ yes sir.
अमरावती से कितना दूर पे है ये
just near to city है sir. मतलब 10 kilometers, 5 to 10 kilometers, or it is a patchy forest. It forest is present in a patches.
Okay, so first thing you need a situation like Tadoba around where man and tiger move together and then contradict each other.
Sir, there is
what I mean to say is that better avoid carnivores in and around human habitations, inviting them. If somebody comes there by mistake or by destiny, better to take them to another place instead of allowing them to breed there in near human habitations. You see, Pilibhit tigers were there in the sugarcane areas. Now all are gone. Earlier, initially 10 years back, people were clapping for the tigers to be breeding in sugarcane fields. Now none of the tigers are there, and nobody was held responsible why they vanished. My inside information is they were killed. Because human will not tolerate any carnivore's presence amongst his habitation, because it's a dangerous animal for human beings. So better allow them to grow inside a forested area instead of coming nearer to the human habitation. This is my perception.
Sir, there is a leopard human conflict in Amravati city is a major issue.
Yes, it will happen because in entire Maharashtra, leopards grow in the sugarcane fields. They are habituated. Similarly, even jackals also very clever. They can stay there, live their entire life in the hume pipes below a road where there is a small rivulet that passes through. So leopards and jackals, they are very clever. They can adjust to any type of environment, but at the same time, it is for a particular community or particular government to allow such a thing to happen around or to avoid such things, because human wildlife conflicts will grow when a tiger or panther is in and around a human habitation. One Devashis is there.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much.
Devashis ji, please.
Thank you so much for your efforts and conservation efforts. We really thank you for that. And for people like you, we are able to go to the jungles again and again and witness such marvelous creatures. My question is more related to tourism. Now we see, because of the social media, we see a huge chunk of people traveling to forests for photography and everything, and we see quite of irresponsible behavior by the travelers, which we have seen in most of the larger forest reserves. How can we bring in a change? Though most of the forest reserves have banned the use of mobile phones and everything, but still we find that the human behavior in those forest areas, whenever they see a tiger or a carnivore anywhere, it becomes really impossible to tackle all those things. So, what kind of rules and regulations should be brought into the park for responsible tourism, actually?
Basically, visitor education has to be one of the important issues. Nowadays, there are so many tools available on the net. Before someone proceeding for a protected area, tiger reserve, better he himself educated about it. Or the tiger, what should I say, the local tiger reserve management addresses this issue in a better way. That's very essential. And second thing, self-regulation is the best regulation. And I have seen many people, including highest bureaucrats, the moment tiger comes, everybody wants to crowd around the tiger. So one has to get out of this mentality. Because you are harming the tiger behavior, you are harming yourself. So temptation is a big thing. One has to avoid those temptations. And second thing, self-education can be done in a very good way nowadays. So responsible tourism is the biggest issue that need to be addressed in the present day situation, where the tourism has become every other livelihood in the country. Now there is a temple tourism, there is a religious tourism, there is a nature tourism, and everybody wants to move out of their weekends and have some outing, ताकि अपनी बादरेशन से कुछ बाहर हो सके. लेकिन हम जहां मंदिर में जाते हैं तो नाचना नहीं चाहिए ना, लेकिन आजकल नाचना भी चल रहा है मंदिरों में. तो मेरा ये कहना है कि कुछ चीजों को हम रेस्पेक्ट करें. ये सेल्फ से ही शुरू होगा.
लेकिन सर, आपको नहीं लगता कि हमें और स्ट्रिक्ट रेगुलेशंस लाने चाहिए टुवर्ड्स वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन?
रेगुलेशंस तो लाना चाहिए जरूर. अभी कई सारे मतलब टाइगर रिजर्व्स में आई एम सीइंग दोस रेगुलेशंस हैपनिंग. But as we said, we are not very law-abiding people, citizens as such. So if we bring that एक civic sense and law-abiding sense अपने में अंदर में लाते हैं, then we will be a good individuals, good citizens around. अपने अपनी responsibility अपन सही play करेंगे. जी. Thank you.
बिल्कुल सही सर, बिल्कुल सही. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
जय हिंद.
जय हिंद सर.
I think we'll
Thank you,
take
Devash.
another one or two questions last, and we can wind up, Trishant.
Sure, sir. We'll do that. I have three people in the virtual, so I'll just bring them up rather than the ones in the chat box. And what I can do is Pratyusha can eventually mail the list of maybe any unique question to you, and you can address it by Monday or something, and we can revert back to the participant.
Okay.
I'll just unmute whoever's there online right now so that they can be addressed to. I see a guest raising a hand. Kindly unmute yourself. I've prompted you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi, hello.
Hello.
So,
Yes.
good
Please go
afternoon,
ahead.
sir.
Namaste.
Thank you, first of all, for your insights. I missed the first part though, but I have a couple of questions. May I? Yeah, this is Sneha calling
Please,
by.
please.
Yeah. So, what is your take on SGMP's, whatever they are going to do with SGMP Mumbai, Sanjay Gandhi National Park?
What?
What is your take
Sanjay
on
Gandhi National Park.
Acha.
Yes. So they're going to make a zoo over there and a kind of a safari thing and so on and so forth. Basically, the forest area, I mean the national park is going to be even shrunk, going to be shrunk. Second thing is obviously all the like an elusive animal, like magnificent animal like tiger is giving such an amount of GDP to our nation. So what kind of tourism is happening across the nation? That is my second thing. And the third is maybe not relevant, but if I may ask so, I would like to contribute in the conservation field of conservation, but I'm not a zoologist. So what can I do? Like I've attended a couple of BNHS courses and done a couple of ornithology courses, but like what can I do more? Like I wanted to ask you.
I will start answering your last question. If you are passionate enough, you can do certainly contribute. Try to upgrade your knowledge with respect to ecology. That's very important. If you need not be a zoologist or botanist or biologist, and then try to understand about the life, mother nature, and ecology. Ecology, if you understand the ecology, then you will cover everything into it. That's first thing. And first question about the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, don't have any idea about what you are asking. So I will not be able to answer about this. So what is the second question? I couldn't follow it.
So tiger is giving us largest amount of GDP via tourism and so on. So like where are we going through when it comes to national reserve and tourism?
No.
So are we really like conserving it, or like what is happening? Because now the case of Panna or
No, you see, basically government does have a policy to move ahead. So for them, whether it is a tiger reserve or some other thing, they want to say their final word. So if you have any concern about it, try to oppose it in a bigger way, because finally it is the number of voices that will be seen as votes around.
Right.
Tigers and other wild animals will not speak for themselves because they are speechless. It is nowadays only Homo sapiens are ruling the globe. So it is at the mercy of the Homo sapien that some others are going to live or don't live. But at the same time, end of the day, Homo sapien will also get vanished.
That's true.
If he's going to crush the life around, then he's going to get crushed. What I mean to say, we as concerned citizens has to bring certain issues to the notice of the government. So to great extent, present day Homo sapiens in the country or even outside the country are not understanding it, or not trying to bring those issues to the people who make the decisions around. We have to be more aware and educated about these issues. That's the only issue. That needs again a very long term. It's a long term solution, but there are no shortcuts for it.
All right. Okay. So as a citizen, if I have to approach, like we have been going to say, SGNP and protesting and so on and so forth. A couple of letters have been reached to the officers, but nothing has been like taken seriously. So how can we like protest even more? Like
Jantar Mantar chale jao.
That is very true, sir.
मेरा कहने का अर्थ ये है, भोपाल में एक रोशनपुरा है, ऐसे बॉम्बे में भी कोई एक जगह होगा जहाँ पे लोग अपना आवाज उठाते हैं. जी.
This has to be done collectively in all the cities and all the
Only
states.
you have to find out a way to raise your voice, and the number of voices has to be sufficient, critical enough to make a dent with the political decisions. That's the only important issue.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. I think there's an additional question from Mr. Prajwal. Kindly unmute yourself quickly.
प्रज्वल तो चुके हैं. चलिए प्लीज.
सर हमने ऑब्जर्व किया है कि मतलब टिपेश्वर में भी लास्ट टाइम एक टाइगर मीटिंग के लिए बहुत सारा किलोमीटर ट्रैवल करके मराठवाड़ा गया था. तो पर हमारे यहाँ जो टाइगर रहता है यहाँ पे एक भी फीमेल है नहीं, और प्रेबेस अच्छा है, तो वो क्यों रहता है? रीजंस क्या हो सकते हैं इतने लॉन्ग टाइम पर एक ही जगह पे रहने का? क्योंकि मेल टाइगर मोस्टली मीटिंग के लिए बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैवल करते हैं. तो
एक चीज ये बताओ, कुछ लोग संन्यास लेने के लिए कुछ लोग ऋषिकेश चले जाते हैं या हिमालय चले जाते हैं. ये भी ऐसे कुछ हैं जहाँ पे अपना रास्ता ढूंढ के चल पड़ा है, उसके लिए कोई मेट नहीं है. इट्स ओनली मतलब ओनली ए चांस, दैट्स ऑल. सो इट कैन हैपन विथ एनीबडी. जो भटक जाते हैं या फिर अपनी सोर्स पॉपुलेशन में रहने के लिए उनको गुंजाइश नहीं है, तो कई बार मतलब वो दिशाहीन हो जाते हैं. इट हैपेंस. One male tiger traveled from Rajasthan and sat in Datia, which is a small patch of forest, for more than 2 years. तो उसके बाद उसका क्या हुआ किसी को पता नहीं है. कहने का अर्थ ये है, देर आर इकोलॉजिकल सिंक्स होते हैं. देर इज सोर्स पॉपुलेशन एंड सिंक पॉपुलेशन. जब कॉरिडोर में चलते हैं उसकी भविष्य नहीं होता है. दे वैनिश देयर. वैनिश इन द सेंस फॉर सम रीजन दे डाई देयर. So those are known as sinks. So what is need to be done in the corridors is that you have to provide a better corridor so that it loses its characters of sink there. So the tigers can move on to the next population in and around. या फिर humanly help them out. वहां से उनको, जब आपको मालूम है सिंक है, तो वहां से उसको उठा के और कहीं रख देना. That's all.
Thanks. So I think we are also running out of time, and we've overshot the session by a long way. The questions don't seem to end. I will do one thing. I will get all of the questions in return. I request all of the participants who raised their hands right now to put the question in writing in the chat box so that I can send it in a letter form to sir. And Srinivas sir, I request you to reply
Yes,
to
I
it
will.
within
I will
the next
answer
week,
them.
and
I will
revert
answer
them to
them.
the participants.
No issue about it.
Thanks. Thank you so much, sir. You will shortly see a breakout room link on your screen. Kindly join that, and I'll be there with you in a minute. And
I have to close and again rejoin?
No. You'll just see a breakout room link on your screen in about 10 seconds. Pratyusha will show you the link. You can join there, and I'll be joining you in just 1 minute. I request all of the participants who missed any part of this session to kindly save this link that I'll be pasting in the chat box. Kindly share the link with all of your environment conservationists, enthusiasts, animal conservation enthusiasts, and also who seriously work on it. Request you to join in for more of these topics in the near future. Thank you for joining us today. I hope to see you next week again. Thank you.